You are safe now. Rest, child, says the warrior in a jerky tone, awkwardly dressed in scrap furs and adorned with more weapons than sense. Handed a small red vial of bubbling liquid that smelled of feet and tasted no less pungent, he is forced to drink. The glass that wounded him so forced out of his body, his legs, weak and lacerated, regain their strength. His eyesight returns to him as the muscle-bound individual before him calls out for aid in an unfamiliar language. Another appears. A feminine figure, clad in humble beige and wearing a wooden symbol of a hand bound in red cord. And a warmth spreads through him. A light from out of nowhere sweeps over him as though the clouds had parted for him and him alone, and his wounds close as he looks upon his saviors. The red tattoo brightly adorned in an impossibly muscular chest, and a green tattoo of impeccable detail resting upon the brow above a caring smile of an elvish woman with whom rests impossible grace and beauty. But there's no time for this, the boy thinks as he readies himself to flee the scene. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the house where tales are told. I'm trying out a new segment today called But Why Though? Today's musing, giraffes. Not your average long horse. If you like the content, feel free to leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to tell us how well we did or how well we did not. Thank you for listening. And without further ado, it's time to open up shop.
Oh.
Hey, there's everyone.
Why though?
But why?
That's it, right? Good segment. But why though? That's pretty much the theme, I think. I got it, definitely. It needs workshopping. I'll completely throw it out.
It did make me think about a lot of giraffe videos, like them drinking from water and like fighting their necks, and that gave me a chuckle. So there's that.
That's what we're here for. Excellent. Last time, arriving at Ironhall, the Deviants found the gates closed to the general populace and a strange plague sweeping through the inside of the city. They split up to gather information and to meet with Herod Bree, an appointed leader of a large camp set up outside Ironhall. They entered into the city under the permission of Zarik Gelda, an honor guard of the Lyrian Order, and having been caught doing magic by Herod, their escort was interrupted, and they were taken instead to a church of Saloon that housed another magic user within the city, Jhojo's mother, Rowena. Rowena reveals, through some coercion, that she is afflicted by some manner of magical affliction that has turned her arm to a semi-opaque rainbow crystal, and that the plan has gone 10 ways, sideways tenfold. What am I writing? After a brief meeting, Vincent was approached by an apparition of Carson, who arrived at his side after searching for him these last few months, and Rowena, in a fit of anger from being questioned, fled the scene. As Jhojo followed her, she put Jhojo to sleep via an injection of crystalline spines from her arm, and in a moment of euphoria from the use of said magic, fled the church via a dimension door. As Killian incited unrest in the church, a riot broke out, and the party used the momentary distraction to enter into the inner ring of the city. Noticing several deceased guards who are hung up to seem yet still alive, they pass by Zarik Gelda, who is guarding the entrance to the inner mines of Ironhall. And as Jhojo enters into a closed door behind a tailed guard, the creatures, guards, and entranced dwarves in the room take notice. She roars, and as the creatures begin to move in, everybody roll initiative.
Ooh boy.
We have to be on the map, I think.
Yes, that is wise.
I'm gonna need this to be a high initiative, please, dice.
I got you, don't worry.
You don't have advantage yet, do you?
Initiative 9.
8?
Oh, it's all dark. Why is it dark?
7. You guys are not currently in the room. You're just outside the doorway.
There's no map for the hallway.
Makes sense.
In the room. Wait a minute.
Well, we actually can't see each other either or know what's going on, so we just assume.
Take one of those.
Well, that isn't what I wanted.
I promised you a high roll, so you can just have 20.
Oh,
on second
thank
thought,
you.
no, you can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. I feel every now and then like I have not been a dick enough. And I'm just like, I just gotta spice that up a little bit with people hating me. Just throw it in there. Is everybody on here? Matilda and Vincent, you have yet no initiative.
Oh, sorry.
Initiate.
Those astute watching, we do not have a break with our little shutters there. We are in fact missing a Matilda for a brief time. So
What?
today's Matilda will be played by Vincent. Not Bianca, Vincent. So that will be fun.
Oh wow, so okay. He'd still just be her. He's a good actor.
That's true. That's true.
So
The entranced dwarves look onward towards you, one of which is not in the initiative order.
Do they see me?
Oh, Vincent, you have 18.14, so I'll give you a 0.15 and put you above the enemies here. So, Vincent, you were actually first in the initiative order.
Okay. Vincent heard. You didn't yell out in pain. You just went. Huh, or
It was like
whatever.
an intimidating. "Ah!"
Just gonna like gauge
feel-
the area a little bit and look around, and then he's gonna be like, "Killian and Matilda, are you still here, or did you also sneak into the room?" They can't see you. Everyone's
No,
visible.
I'm still here.
I'm assuming Matilda responds as well.
Matilda responds.
Well, I don't know what Jhojo's up to, but I think she has it covered. You think we should just wait?
I mean, it doesn't sound. We should
Sounded pretty
probably.
confident.
I mean, you're good at reading people. I guess if you think she's okay.
Could I have insight that roar?
You want to insight the roar? Go ahead and roll insight.
God, I love that choice. I love this choice so much. Oh my
A
gosh,
natural
this
one
guy.
for a 10. With a 10, she seems, I mean, that roar did definitely seem pretty confident. She
confident.
wasn't attempting to hide anything there. She, looking onward towards these beasts, she almost seems excited. Maybe a little bit, like, you can sense that, the churning in the gut of excitement.
I'm sure she's got it covered, too. And Vincent will just like, no one can see this, but he's just gonna like leap. How big is this corridor? Is it a small like dugout tunnel?
15 feet wide, you were looking at a arched roof, kind of carved out solid stone pathway. Solid stone underneath it with some dirt packed on top.
Okay. Vincent, and does the door open outwards or inwards when someone opens it?
It opened outwards, but
Okay.
they popped it open and then they looked on towards you guys and then. Or no, sorry, it opens inwards. 'Cause otherwise, it could not possibly lock in the way that I said it did.
So Vincent's just gonna stand like the doors to the side of it, so that when they open it, like I know he's not gonna be visible, but he's just gonna stand and lean against the wall and wait for anything to happen.
Alrighty.
I guess his action was to insight,
Yes, in this instance.
then he will not hold an action. And I will end my turn.
The entranced dwarvish miners look onwards towards you, and moving towards the site that they had heard the sound coming from. This one does not dive off, but instead moves over towards this ladder here and just goes down, taking the rest of his movement. Same thing with this dwarven miner over here, just pops down to the bottom of the ladder. Third moves over towards the edge, beginning to examine the area. As the guards who had kind of just heard this scream also just begin to descend and move in the general direction. You see them begin to encircle your position. This one does actually just hop down, just reaches down and carefully drops from the top of this tall wooden walkway. You can see at the very top of it, the miners previously were just hacking at these crystals that are just sprouting out of the solid stone and begins to move up. This one almost seems to hold a bit more authority than the others, as you can see them begin to actually move forward towards you. And as it reaches up towards the area where your space would be, you see them just kind of prodding the area with their weapon, trying to ascertain what it is that's going on. All of them still wearing those kind of thick leather masks. But as he approaches, he just kind of is swinging wildly towards you in your general space. He's going to attack you with disadvantage. What is your AC right now? Actually, never mind.
16?
As they do not have short swords on them currently. Actually, he's just waving his spear around. So he would have remained probably about here, actually, as they're moving forward. Then, not hitting you, you kind of manage to duck or do you actually dodge these? Or do you, like, stop them?
I would dodge. I would
Dodge?
dodge these because I don't want them. I want them to be like, "Is this did someone thaumaturge you over here?" Or...
Yeah, you see them just moving in and just swiping aggressively with their spear, not having hit you, and you've managed to like dodge out of the way of their awkward and clumsy movements. They take a few more steps towards you, and as they're now about 5 feet from you, you see them confused, and they just look out the door. Who else is out there? Does anybody respond?
Time to shine, Vince.
The door's closed and like barred. Well, we don't know it's barred, but it's closed right now. Vincent doesn't respond.
Okay. In the silence, well, they've loosed all their movement. So that's the end of their turn currently. This one back here, you see, grabs a short bow and prepares, just kind of holds it, preparing to loose a bolt if needed. An arrow, rather. Killian, you're up.
All right. So the dwarf on the other side asked who else was out there. Killian doesn't want to respond. The door is like just like a big wooden door. Like there's no like slat or like anything like that.
No, for the most part, this is just like full half logs that have been mortared on top of each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's airtight because of the dust stuff.
I'll just, yeah, because there was so much dust. Even when they opened it before, it was just like, and as the doorway opened, you saw just this dust tear through. And as they closed it once again, it just like seals down with this mortar that presses up against itself. It's almost like thick foam, but hard, almost like rubber.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Killian will, for the time being, like holster her rifle, and pull out her long sword and hold it in like two hands, kind of like essentially readying to like if the door opens and a dwarf comes out to check what's happening, she's gonna bonk it.
Okay. And as you prepare, let me go ahead and ready an action. Oop. Matilda, Vincent, you are up.
Like, I don't want to predict what Tamara would want to do with her character, so turreting her, I think she would just maybe hold an action so if she sees anyone.
You wouldn't be able to hold a spell and keep invisibility up, right?
Oh yeah, so you have to
No,
cast it.
as you cast it and then you hold the spell.
She'll hold the thought of that then.
She could like hold a dash to get into the room if it opens.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Although
If
I don't know
anyone-
if she would want to get into the action.
Rush into the room, Warlock.
I feel that's a Matilda move though. We'll see. She'll basically stand over and just keep an eye on the tunnels and the door as well. Like, I don't think there's anything she can do right now because spellcaster.
All right, at the end of Matilda's turn, these sprouts just kind of slowly begin to inch forward in this just faint bit. You can see as their heads kind of bop side to side, that faint light that you saw through the adults is kind of just warbling aggressively through these ones. But as they begin to move forward, I will action perceive for both of them. Jhojo, do you want to roll a stealth for me here, actually, to contest if you are attempting to be... Well, you roared, but I don't know if you're still attempting to disguise your position.
I will roll a stealth.
I thought of something for
With
Matilda.
disadvantage.
Yes.
Age. I don't know if we can retcon, but I thought of something quick for Matilda.
Before I finish with these creatures, for sure, we can pop back quickly. What are you gonna do?
I think seeing those mushroom creatures before, she's interested in nature and plants. Could she do some sort of investigation or arcana check to see Like, what disposition? Does she think they would be poisonous? Does she think they would be?
What is Matilda's passive perception? 14? That would have been enough to have seen them through the door.
Well, we also saw one walk by when we came in, too.
That's very true. So go ahead and roll. In this case, it would be nature. 14. These creatures seem to be in some form a myconid, like a living fungal creature. But you've never seen myconids and like crystals in this kind of fashion coexist. It almost seems like one or the other is some form of invasive species upon the other, but you're not entirely certain beyond that.
Do they seem like they could be poisonous? We saw that dust falling off, the spores falling off the one coming in.
You have no idea.
Okay.
With the 14, how much would Matilda know? Am I connected to the 14? Let me check. I don't think you know. And as the creatures continue to move forward, they do seem to have noticed you.
Okay.
Jhojo. Rushing forward, that's 5. This one can almost make it up to you. That one does make it up to you. And as it moves in towards you, it just kind of like reaches up and goes to grab onto you. You see, almost in a manner of curiosity as opposed to anything else. As it focuses in, reaches back, goes for a slam, and the fist kind of turns almost jelly-like, and it goes to whip around your body, but you manage to once again dodge out of the way, off to the side, as it just kind of whips out in the open air, and it falls over before quickly righting itself.
Okay.
The other one, it would actually probably dash, having noticed you. So it does reach up to you. And now it is your turn.
This door, is it an action to open?
It is currently, like, barred shut, so it would take an action to pop that open and throw the door.
Okay, I will spend my action doing that.
All right, let me go ahead and do a little dance.
The door just, like, tears open, and we're all just like...
Killian's just sitting there like this, invisible, and then the door opens and there's no one there. It's like...
Well, there's no one right there, but there are 2 mushrooms and a guy.
Yeah, with further confusion, as the door swings open from nothing, a mushroom moves forward and attacks the open air. The guards are looking on towards this madness, and as it swings open, there's nothing on the other side. The seal just... the dust tears out across all of you, and now, Killian, there's no one within your melee range at current as the door swings open, so you're just like...
Yeah.
And then I think Jhojo doesn't want to... I don't want to rage yet. So instead, she's just going to provoke attacks of opportunity from these mushrooms.
You can't. Oh, yeah, because they can see you. So.
Yeah, they can. And she's going to go, like, you know... Oh, there's a mushroom right there, huh?
So if you don't move stealthily, even the people who can't see you might know your position.
So I'll only go... can you move me back a little bit? Or
Sure.
I'll move myself back. But just here, I guess? Wait, how
You
far
can
is
go
that?
to here.
Okay.
Tippy tappy tap.
Tippy tippy.
Tippy tippy tap. As you just begin to move stealthily like a barbarian do, you make your way over to the side here, and those two are going to attempt to attack you once more. One of them does manage to hit with a dirty 20 as it just slams into your back, and you feel this sticky kind of liquid just... And then almost similarly to the impalement that you had received from your mother previously, you sense these small spines begin to just like push between your clothes and press up against your skin, but nothing happens from that.
Okay.
You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of poison damage.
Okie dokes.
And the creature you kind of like tear out and away, and as it pulls back, you can see just the faintest little bit of a trickle of blood on the edge of the creature's fists, and the 2 guards look down in confusion.
Now that I have taken damage, I think I will rage.
Are you, you're not concentrating right now, are you?
I'm concentrating
invisibility.
on invisibility. Oh, so I would need to roll a con save.
Well, if you rage, it would just end.
Yeah, you can't concentrate
you're
on
right.
spells.
Yes,
I
yes,
just can't. I couldn't remember who had gotten the second invisibility from Matilda's.
I did.
Okay, cool.
Because I was concentrating on Hex still.
It's minimum 10, right? Oh yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, you are good. 17
I
destroyed
won't
that
rage then, because I will stay invisible.
check. Gotcha. So as you're moving, I'm going to roll just an intelligence check for these three. They look down at the creature. They do not notice the trickle of blood down upon them, but as it attacks you, you see them clearly stop in midair, and the two are just now looking around, kind of panicked, but still not necessarily having noticed where you have gone.
Mm-hmm.
You see these adult creatures begin to move in, once again, kind of slowly. One of which glowing out with this pink light. It just siphons over here and makes its way down the side of this wooden trellis as it makes its passage to the ground and just steps forward. Focusing in on you, it leans back, and you see those fists just turn into these spiked maces as it leans in to do an attack against you.
Okay.
Two of these attacks come in. You manage to dodge out of the way of one as the second one bludgeons into your shoulder. That is 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 6 points of poison.
Okay. Cool. Yes. Good.
The other one at the back, you see it leans up, lets out this just 20-foot radius area as the entire cavern around you just turns into a glimmering mist of purple, pink, and greens, colors shifting in its movement. See?
Yeah, I get those.
Jhojo, you are currently wearing this mask that you had previously
Yes.
thrown on your face. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Nice.
Yeah. Dirty 20.
As those spores tear out from the center of the creature, it kind of just begins to look around, its head jerking back and forth as it attempts to discern where you are, but nothing happens.
Ooh.
Does the spores in the air dissipate immediately, or does it feel like the cloud is stuck there now?
As the spores hit, you see it just kind of like almost with the sound of like ringing bells as it just slowly dissipates in the air. As we cycle back around, Vincent, you are up.
Out of curiosity, the dwarves are unaffected?
The dwarves do not seem affected. The humans
Okay.
do not seem affected.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
They also have masks on.
Yep.
Vincent goes to walk in this space and then probably like bumps into Killian a little bit.
Yeah. Bonk.
And then just leans down and says, "Oh, pardon me, dear." And then he'll step. Does he know this glimmering like sprout over here? Does it seem like it notices them in there, or is it too focused on Jhojo?
I was previously focused on Jhojo. It would have to perceive on its turn again to have noticed you. So at current, they're both looking to where Jhojo had gone.
Okay. But Vincent, yeah, if he walks in their line of sight, they probably sense him. It's fine. They've used a reaction. Just gonna go here.
That's a cone if I've ever seen one.
One heck of a cone.
That's a cone right there.
That's a 2-scoop cone.
So
Some-
as no one can see this, but it's pretty cool. Vincent walks into the room and just like takes what looks like a long conductor's wand out of his lapel, just holds it up in the air, and he's like, "Get away from here!" And sends off a beam, and a cone of fear is gonna fill the entire room. I need each creature in that space to roll a wisdom saving throw. DC is 15.
Okay, as you unleash this cone, DC 15, the dwarvish miners seem entirely unaffected. The two guards, the one guard who is standing immediately in front of you, is unaffected, and the rest are terrified. as this just amber light tears out from this one space behind. All of the guards look towards the origin of the light. You are not visible, as you have used this ability from the wand that you hold in your hand. This creature here, let's see, go ahead and double check this. This guy, and one of the dwarves actually is terrified.
I like to picture, because they can't see Vincent, so they're not necessarily knowing what they're afraid of. But I feel like to the people that got under this effect, the room starts to like dim almost, and like their vision kind of goes like force, like their FOV kind of enlarges, and like they hear the sound is in the room get a little bit more spooky and creaky, and they just get this like horrible, unsettling feeling, and they know that like their demise is approaching, and it's whatever is coming is the scariest thing they've ever had in their life.
What you see from these two fungal creatures that had been approaching before, as you unleash this cone, the one in front of you just turns down and just you see spines of spikes and crystals form out, and it basically turns itself into a large geode. And the larger one roots itself against the wall and just similarly turns into a humanoid form of crystals, as the two of them here have just kind of hunkered down upon themselves, and they are now restrained.
Yeah, the creature, there is restrictions to what it can and cannot do. It can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that it prevents it from moving. If it has nowhere it can move, the creature can use the dodge action. At the end of each turn, the creature can repeat the saving throw.
So as an action, it can try and break out, and if it fails at the end of its turn, it can try and break out?
So it can break out of anything that would prevent it from moving, like if someone's grappling it.
I see. Okay, perfect.
If not, it has to use its action to dash, and if it cannot move, let's say it couldn't break out of its grapple, and it still had an action left for some reason, it can take the dodge action. It cannot use reactions.
Okay. Let me go ahead and mark these people with a reaction tree.
And I will get rid of this. As a bonus action, Vincent is going to move his hex. That wouldn't break invisibility, right? Because he's not casting a spell.
No.
Okay. He is going to move it onto... Who doesn't seem afraid? I'll move it onto this guy.
Oh, which do you hex? It's a wisdom, yes?
Yeah,
It's a pre-existing hex, yeah.
Okay, so 5, 10. And Vincent will end this turn.
So if you moved 20 feet, you were not moving stealthily?
No, Vincent was not moving. A giant beam of light came from his area, so he's not staying there.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still invisible. So a beam of light occurred. They look towards the space where the beam of light occurred, and if you stealthily move, they won't necessarily know you've moved.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to get back around the corner, this guard will take an attack of opportunity.
You cannot take attack of opportunity against a creature you cannot see, regardless of if you know that they're not.
I don't think that's true.
You look under attack of opportunity. I can read it out for you.
Do you have it? Sure.
Yeah. You can make it an opportunity attack when a hostile creature that you can see moves out of your reach. To make an opportunity attack, you have to use your action to make one melee attack against the provoking creature. Your attack occurs right before the creature leaves your reach.
Sweet. I like that a lot. So invisibility is even better than it was. You shuffle out of the way, and they track your movement and are just like, oh, I'm gonna hit you. Should I? I can't. But hi, what? No, where is he?
Oof, I want to.
You can see, and as soon as they go to like just poke that area, you're already gone, like a ghost. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. The entranced dwarvish miners are going to run in a straight line towards the position where the fear had come from. Begin to wildly attack that space.
Oh my god. I'm not allowed to like strategize when we're technically not able to talk out loud in combat, right?
I think we agreed in sessions here that we were allowed to do a little bit of this. But it's really up to Adrian to overrule that, whether or not it seems too metagamey.
What is it that you're I think what it ended up being was like you guys can choose once per combat to have like a minute to discuss amongst yourselves.
Okay, I was just thinking it'd be really cool if we could lure these people out of the room and then lock the door.
Lol.
We do that. Let's do that.
We could maybe.
So this Dwarvish miner is just wildly attacking the space where Vincent was previously. These two are going to dash. Actually, they seem relatively mindless. Like, as they're moving, they're just constantly chanting, "Protect her." And as they get up to the space, they're just like, with picks in hand, just wildly
Protect
slamming
her.
his attacks. Indeed. This one is going to attack you at disadvantage.
Okay.
Nothing. Wild swinging and then just kind of aggressively slamming against stone and steel.
This guy cannot move closer. He's frightened of me.
Thank you. He was here. He is actually instead going to
Run away.
He can use the dash action, but the source of his fear is not in line of sight.
Doesn't matter. He has to use his action to move away from where he saw the beam come out. So
That's fair. I think he would likely flee from that position. Let me see. 5, 10, 15. He is going to run this way. You see him kind of reach over, grab onto this ladder, and then begin to descend the area.
Oh.
This guard can attack. That guard can attack. You're there.
sorry,
He's
Jhojo,
not
that
running
kind
forward.
of blows the.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll kill them.
That's why I was like, oh well, I don't think this is gonna work as well as you hope. Maybe.
Not
It
being
could
able to
go
move forward was
fear
a thing in the wrench in the gears in the first place.
Yeah.
So this guard runs forward. This one runs over here. Ooh, no. You know what he does? Can't move forward. He's going to go down here. He's going to run in
can't,
circles
he's
like a
frightened.
madman. He's not moving any closer to the space where it was previously. He's going to go down here, and he's going to attempt to grab something from the waist of this guard. As he just reaches in, you can hear them kind of struggle briefly. It's like, give me it! I'm not dying in here! Get me out of here! Reaches in, grabs a small key ring from the waist, and just pulls out the belt of this individual. You see his tabard kind of fly a little bit open, and then he looks over towards him and is like, demerits! But this guy turns and begins to run towards this door off to the side, holding a ring of keys.
That's a 50 DKP minus.
This guard, having known your general location, Jhojo, is going to... What was your previous stealth check?
My previous stealth check, I would not
Scroll
know.
up, smidge. Word. I'm gonna scroll up slightly.
It
Okay.
was 23.
Yeah, I
He
think that
turns-
sounds right.
He turns his attention.
problem
That's
with
good.
I only have a +1
I
to
definitely-
stealth, but I'm
I-
sure it was 23.
I definitely
Yeah.
was not able to just scroll up and see what the number was, so we're fine. He turns his attention towards you and just begins to take wild stabs with his spear into the space, attacking with disadvantage. I was going to do this versatile.
Ooh.
One of those manages to make purchase into your body, Jhojo, and you take 7 points of piercing damage as he pulls back with blood and is like, I fucking knew it. Invaders! Someone's here to take her from us! The end of their
Take
turns.
her from us. Ooh.
This guy here is hexed, but actually not down.
It's
He's
not
going to move
frightened.
over here, and he's going to close the door.
Oh,
No!
does my reaction go off?
It has not
that?
been your turn yet, so yes, you can attack him.
Yeah.
Lob his arm clean off, and you were safe.
We have advantage.
Yeah.
Technically, you said if a dwarf comes into the... I'm just kidding. You're just like, gotta want to attack, but he's not a dwarf. I'll hold off. Close the door, friend.
Yeah. Was it?
Oh, no.
No!
Doing that one.
You're-
Oh,
I think- You're not accustomed to being invisible, so you're just like, aha! And then you're just like, where's the blade? And you go to slash, and you just miss. You hear, "Vroom," and the guard kind of freaks out for a brief moment before locking the door and just boom, slamming it shut. You guys are
Oh
now
my
once again
God.
locked out.
That's so funny.
Go ahead and draw
I'm no longer invisible as soon as I took that.
Oh,
action.
yeah.
Yeah.
You saw a goblin, so.
just for the faintest
Or-
moment. The,
or
A gnome. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. The faintest moment, a gnome in the mines appears. And Killian, it is now your turn. The doorway has been closed.
Could I? Okay, I'm going to cast Mage Hand on the other side of the door. Did he fully close it, or did he just close the door?
He closed the door, and he used his action to close it, so it's fully locked. You hear
Okay.
the bar kind of...
Okay, I'm gonna use the Mage Hand to open the wood.
So, Mage Hand, 10 pounds, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll fate dice. Actually, you may roll a fate dice on this
Okay.
to determine
Just a
whether or not
D20,
they
right?
used fir or oak for this this door handle. Natural 20. That's pure fir,
It's
baby.
bamboo, baby.
Hollow, saved some money. Go ahead
Bamboo.
and the hand apparates on the other side of the door. Reaches down, kind of just like straddles the door for a second as it leans up, and you just hear it's not invisible. Yes, you don't have
No.
any form of summoning it. It just appears on the door, kind of begins to lift up, turns, grabs the hand, and you hear on the inside as it slowly begins to lift once more. The
Guys
guard
haven't
reaches
seen
forward
that.
and it's like holding onto it, but just lets go as this hand appears, and it just lifts up and unlocks. Let me go ahead
Alright.
and grab you a mage hand.
Mhm. And you said the door opens outward.
No, inward.
Inward. Okay.
Yeah, outward from your guys' position.
All right. Well, then Killian will just kind of like shoulder her way to like open the door, and move to. Oh, I'm in darkness. Where'd I go?
Oh, I can move. I can open the door for you.
Oh, perfect.
You can move here or here. Oh wait, there's a creature there.
I still can't see anything. That's interesting.
Might be a
Is
wall.
it because I currently have my hand selected?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, you'll be seeing from its position currently.
Gotcha. How do I?
If you
Oh.
drag select off your character.
There we go.
Yeah,
Am I able to get into this little spot right here
you
where
can
my
shuffle.
mage hand is?
You can shuffle around, but you can't end your turn there. Like you can't stop your movement within the space of another creature. Is the mage hand incorporeal? No, it can interact with objects. So basically, you can move through that space, but you can't stop in it to attack stuff.
I think you can stop in your own. Because it's tiny, you can just put it above your head.
No, you can. It's just for rule's sake. You can't end your turn in another space. However, can the mage hand move? It can move 30 feet.
Yeah. I can
Yes,
move the hand
so you
up
can
to
move it
30
away.
each time I use it. Yeah, so I'll move it away. I'll just have it like spookily like like master hand or whatever. Just like
Oh.
start like crawling around like upside down on the ceiling. I guess that's the creepiest way to do it.
You get
Add a
30
little
feet up. It begins to crawl 30 feet up, but it does not make it to the ceiling. This is a high cavern,
Ooh, this is a big cavern.
but
Okay,
it is no longer in that space. You are free.
perfect. Then I will sneak my way. Tempting to collide with at least one wall.
You wanted to go here? I'll throw you there.
There we go. I think I did it. Yeah. So Mage Hand was my action. I've moved. I'm not exactly gonna bonus action hide. So here I am. Come get me, I guess.
Those who have previously attacked an invisible object are still paying attention to that. Jhojo, I also need 2 concentration checks.
Oh,
One
right.
for the previous attack and one for the spear.
Do any of these guys have ranged attacks?
Most of them look like they have some kind of ranged weaponry. You see
Okay.
you see crossbows and short swords. Double 18, you are totally good. And Killian, you ended your turn.
The last thing I'd like to do is Strumbeak is just gonna like just fly into the room, stealthily if possible.
So Strumbeak flies in, kind of lifting up off of your shoulder. I don't know that it could be stealthy in this instance because you're in full view. Is it
Right.
Does it have any means of obscuring itself?
No, not really.
Alrighty, where do you choose to place Strumbeak?
How you said the ceiling is like quite high, like more
Quite high.
further than 30 feet.
Uh,
Just gonna go in the door and up straight like as far as I can, which is only like 30 feet.
Then it would be in the mage hand space.
Ah, um,
25 feet up
a bird
it
in
is.
the mage hand is worth two in the mage bush. All right. Yeah, 25 then. And it will... I think I can only make it attack as a bonus, which I still have. So it will just... a little bit of energy will spark on the edge of its like hummingbird-like beak. And it'll just shoot down at one of the guys with the short bows. I guess this guy?
The guards themselves have short bows, and you see the miners themselves have a light crossbows kind of hanging off their back.
Ooh, okay. Maybe one of the miners then.
Alrighty. Go ahead
Yeah.
and take that shot.
Ooh, okay. I'm just gonna roll it. Uh, 19 to hit.
19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right.
This little multicolored hummingbird just flies up and lets out a small beam of energy.
3 force damage.
3 force damage. That is 6 damage against this miner. As the energy tears through, you see a small, just burning hole in the shoulder as the pure magic begins to tear away at them. And at the end of your turn, Matilda.
Oops, I didn't even like that. I feel like Matilda would probably just blast things right now, regardless. Well, we're all or no, Killian's not visible anymore, so
Yeah.
Jhojo's.
I'm in the
Yeah,
thick
no.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll. Seeing this dude like walk over and close the door in front of her, and then Killian like opening it and then moving off to the side, she's just gonna like channel crackling energy in her head. She'll be like,
That was rude. And she'll fire it.
Phenomenal.
She does have advantage on the first attack coming out of invisibility because it'll fade as soon as after she's cast it.
Technically speaking, both of these beams are a single spell attack. Though you make a different attack roll for each. That's interesting.
They
I think
go
you
off
would be invisible for
simultaneously.
both. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, neat.
24 to hit.
24 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Ooh, 14.
Yeah.
Goodness. So that's the guard right in front, right?
Mhm.
So you just like, that was rude. The body just explodes into viscera, and you see nothing but legs. As the legs hit the ground and fall over, everyone behind is just coated in this. As the dwarves look over towards the now visible Matilda, and they begin to charge forward with no care. As this guy takes 28 points of force damage.
Was that both bolts, or was that just the
No,
first
that was
one?
just
That was the first
One.
Oh
one.
boy.
Yeah.
These
Is that
guys aren't
even
bound.
using her agonizing blast? I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it is.
No, it has the +4.
It added it, yeah.
Oh, that's what that is. I see.
He rolled max damage, so it was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll hit the dwarf behind there because it probably just like flew over the little tiny glimmering sprout. $22. Assuming hit.
22 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, and this is the opposite end of the scale. Only 5 force damage.
5? Okay. Oh, why did you move, friend? Stay there. Blasting into them, you still see them just take a hefty hit and look towards you with blood beginning to trickle down the face. They are now bloodied.
Okay. And then to just... How are people reacting to Matilda there? Are they like...
As this
confused?
just eldritch cannon begins to tear through people, you can see that the terror that was racking others is now beginning to infectiously spread to everyone in the room.
Okay. She will move here and end her turn. Here. Sorry, I wanted to put
Over one more? It is a 15-foot wide area. You can. That is basically as far as they can go. From Vincent to Matilda is the width of it.
Sweet. And she'll end her turn.
Alrighty. The sprouts. This one has solidified into a solid just chunk of stone and crystal. This one is going to close the door. I'm just kidding. It moves in past the door and towards Matilda, where it begins to look around. It sees Matilda and just goes for a large grab of love. So that is a nat 20 for a solid 7 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of poison.
Vincent also becomes visible because she was concentrating on his visibility. So he would have walked out and seen Vincent as well.
But would her concentration end?
Yeah, because she, as soon as,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
He's
for-
still
no, that's a
concentrating.
good point. That's a good point.
okay, so she's still concentrating on him.
I got you on that. Oh.
At least until now, when she took damage.
Yeah.
Now she rolls the concentration check. That will be just a DC 10 con check. Until it succeeds. So that is a grand total of 7 points of bludgeoning, 4 points of poison. Have you already applied the damage?
Can you tell how much it is in total?
11.
Okay.
Oh, it'll prompt another check for you.
It's fine. I'll just ignore it.
Gotcha. And now, the second creature remains in this just solid form. First one goes for a big old hug against Matilda, and Jhojo, you are now up, witnessing just the carnage occurring in front of you.
Yes. Jhojo will, as an action, rip off this guy's mask.
Ooh. Go ahead and roll athletics. You have advantage on this because you still cannot see it.
It's a 17.
Yeah, you reach forward, you grab onto the mask, and you just tear it off the side of his head. It looks like it hurt, too, because you wanted to, pull it so it came untied, but you see it's one solid piece, so you just pull and then, rake through the hair, lift it off the head, and just fuck!
Clumps of hair in it. Does that count as an action that would break invisibility, or?
It did not cause damage. By the definition of, so you need to attack or cast a spell.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Cool. Does it seem to be affecting him at all, immediately, or is he fine for now?
You are staring this guy in the face, and you are staring into the face of terror. This guy, as soon as he has the chance, is going to run the fuck away.
Awesome. And then, I got a rage. Bonus action rage.
Everyone's
Gotta
visible.
do it.
Come on, tentacles. Come on, tentacles.
Here's my wild magic surge. Is that it? Yes. They take force damage as they hit me. Cool. In which
Not
case, I will
Run past all of them.
yeah. That's 15, 30. Bam.
These people, as you a half-orc becomes visible in the area, begins tearing through the room. He sees you, and yes, will absolutely take an attack of opportunity against you.
Uh-huh.
It does hit with an 18, and that is 6
Great.
points of piercing damage, halved to 3. Stabs into you, and then your energy shield just sends out a solar flare against him.
That is 5 damage to him, force.
10 points of force damage. Still alive, heavily bloodied, as it just
Holy
tears
shit.
through him. His entire body's just lacerated from this just magical energy.
That's my turn.
He looks over towards the dwarf, looking for some kind of solace, and just sees moving towards the open door, and he's like, fuck this, and just turns to flee. The adult
The
fungal
myconid
creatures. Yes, this
have
one would have
done
attacked
a-
you. This one also would have attacked you. He's too focused on this guy. He's got so many emotions right now.
Yeah.
They're both going to... They cannot multi-attack you with this, so... Oop. 2 fist attacks come in towards you. One manages to hit. You take... That is 8 points of... I'm sorry, 2 points of piercing damage and 6 points of poison.
Sorry, who dis?
You.
Oh,
One of them manages to hit as they just attack towards you, but
Yes.
you manage to dodge
how
out
much
of the way of the
damage
other.
is that?
There's 2 points of bludgeoning.
So 1.
And 6 points of poison.
And they take. Where's my thing? 6 points of force damage. Good rolls.
6 force. Blasting back with the wave of force energy. It rakes across them, but they just turn their attention back towards you. Does not seem to have had the same immense effect as on the others.
Okay.
Okay. And now it is their turn. This one still remains just a solid mass of crystal. This one is going to rush up over towards you. It's going to go here. It leans back. Once again lets out that just massive cloud.
Oh no, this guy. The guy ripped the mask off.
You did. 20 feet. Matilda is in this. Killian is in this. Vincent, you were just outside of it. So everybody but Vincent make a...
We have advantage because of the
On
mask.
save?
Actually, 1 sec. This might be different. Yeah, it is a Constitution saving throw. Please, Maggie.
With advantage because of the mask?
Indeed.
Baby. 22.
22 is
Nine.
good. 23 is good.
Yeah.
Matilda does not succeed. Matilda is stunned and takes 11 points of poison damage as it... let me open this again. As 6 points of poison damage. As the spores begin to settle in, you see it just kind of like begin to just pour through their body. And the light that comes, like Matilda almost begins to shed light. As she opens her mouth and begins to gasp from this choking spore, you see light begin to pour out of it.
Okay. Concentration check.
Suddenly we're in a Rammstein music video.
Oh, for concentration breaks.
And Vincent, you are now visible.
Yes.
And you are concentrating currently as well. What are you concentrating on?
Hex.
Perfect. Now then, as they're fleeing, that's happened. The fungal creatures continue to move. This one remains enshrouded in crystal. Can't do anything else, can you, my friend? Negative. You can see this creature's actually like whimsically moving towards you, Jhojo. It seems to be enjoying this.
Okay.
And Vincent, you are up.
Okay. I would like to see this first before I decide what I wish to do on turn. Yeah, this will work. Seeing everyone kind of engaged and then looking down and Vincent seeing his hand, he'll just be like and put like his little wand back into his lapel, or conducting stick, and he'll just sort of like raise one of his hands and type a couple notes in the air, and you see the golden keys show up. It's a nice little little melody that rings out, a jingle. And everyone in this radius, aside from Matilda and Killian, needs to roll a Constitution saving throw as he casts Withering Bloom.
It's 15 feet, right? Like square?
No, it's a 10-foot radius.
Oh, okay. Just making sure that my floaty things were out of the reach. So
Doesn't
Okay, make sure
I can
this-
choose which creature to hit. It doesn't matter.
I realize that you just didn't specify that those two weren't making checks, but we're all good. We're all good.
Okay, then I'll do the inverse. Everyone that's an enemy.
Perfect.
So Killian, roll or die, and everyone else heals. So the creatures, the small one, does not succeed. The dwarf who runs forward towards you does not succeed. But 2 of them have failed. This one here, and this one here has failed to check.
Ignore the prompts again. It'll probably. They take 7 points of necrotic damage, or half as much if they succeed. And I will trigger Matilda to use one of her hit dice to heal herself.
Yo, that's a dope spell.
Which
Both of the
is-
2 who have failed just falls to the ground as these just enrapturing thorns begin to move through them and suck the last bit of life out of them. The guard up here who succeeded falls to the ground deceased as the energy leaves their body, and the Dwarven miner here continues his ceaseless aggression towards you.
Matilda regains 8 hit points.
Wither and Bloom does not remain in place, yes?
It just goes off. So basically, as Vincent typed those keys, I pictured like some black ichor smoke kind of like leave out from his feet and like travel on and like seep into the ground around them. And then spikes of like thorns shoot up and like wrap around the legs of the people who got hurt and like suck their essence. And then you see it kind of like writhe onto the ground and like inject itself into Matilda.
Damn.
That's quite the imagery. Every time I hear essence now, though, I just think essence, and I cannot
don't know
help
what that's
myself.
for.
Perfect.
This glimmering shout also, did it succeed or fail? Or?
Oh, I did not roll for that one. Apologies. Let me go ahead and roll that up here. That is an 8. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let me check here. That is an 11. It fails.
It fails. Take 7 necrotic damage. Is it dead?
It is deceased.
Is it just like walks over creatures,
Wish.
Oh
wish.
man.
dusting some dirt off of his shoulder? Yeah. 5 and 15. There's no sense of being stealthy. And then he'll kind of like tilt his head and look over towards the guard, the one that I guess got his mask ripped off. You're next. And he'll use a bonus action to move his hex to him.
I think he's dead.
He dead?
Oh, is he dead?
He's also dead, yeah.
Okay.
You're
we'll do
next.
that to the dwarf.
Yeah.
You reach up,
You're
you point your
next.
finger towards the corpse on the ground, and you say, "You were last." Then you move about your way. Let me see here. Yeah.
So he'll do that towards the dwarf, is what I meant. And he'll hex the dwarf.
Most excellent. And I'm giving Matilda stun. You are hexed. There's no wisdom here today, guys.
Woo!
Woo!
Just like every day. Yeah.
That's the life. As the creatures fall one by one to this just immediate onslaught. That was the end of your turn, Vincent. Okay. This dwarvish miner that cares nothing for your hex begins to just rush towards Killian and takes 2 aggravated attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Very important that they're aggravated.
Well,
Remember
they're not
that.
aggravated. They're superficial, right?
No, they're like, are you listening to me, Damon? As they lean back with the axe, one vicious chop into the side of your shoulder, you feel it begin to tear through, and then it just carries through and down and rakes across your chest. 1 critical hit and
All
1
right.
hit.
Oh no.
I got that joke, Damon. I don't think Adrian knows vampire masquerade. So.
I don't know if it was I tried to pass through because I was like, I don't get that reference, and my immediate brain was like, move on to a different joke. Make sure they don't know. 17 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
The slash
Ouch.
carries through your body.
Ooh.
Ooh, that hurt. For the first time ever. They are then going to attempt to... Actually, you see the crystals in their body shatter out as they manage to hit you with this attack. You suffer an additional 3 points of radiant damage as they just manage to pepper your body.
How dare.
Agreed. The second...
They don't
Okay,
stay in my
transfer.
body, right?
They
It's
don't.
just
They
like,
hit
it's like
you
someone
and
throwing
kind of-
coins at you. Yeah.
Yeah, and you take radiant damage. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Where is this dwarf? Oh, he's fleeing. That's right. He takes the full dash to get away and
Yahoo!
continues doing so.
Now his source of fear is there, and he's just like, it's worse than I thought it
This world was never for me. Not for Dwarf -6. They are going to roll checks now.
Yeah, at the end of their turn, they can make another wisdom saving throw. DC
This one
15.
is no longer frightened, and at the far end of a long cavern, it's just like, must protect her. And just turns, and you hear him just echoing through as he begins his charge back towards you.
Oh no.
This one is no
Tracking
longer
roll.
frightened. The others who could have saved are dead. And this guard continues fleeing. Making his way over towards the doorway, he unlocks it with the key as an action, reaches over to the other side, as an item interaction, closes it, and then has no actions left to...
The only
No
action he
action
can
left.
use is the dash action. He's not allowed to do anything else.
He's fleeing for his life, and this door is obstructing. So he is capable of to open it in order to get away.
I don't think he would close it, is what I'm saying.
I can't
Or
open
like
the door.
relock it behind him.
It's
Basically,
he drops his car keys and he's
Oh,
like, no.
No, he reaches the door and he's just like, it's not that one. Just continues fumbling. The doorway, he slams it shut behind him and just begins to run, but you do not hear it lock again as he is just fleeing in abject terror. I'm going to roll check for him. Does not succeed, continues running. You hear the footsteps receding. Killian, you're up.
All right. This dwarf that's like just chewing into me is not bloodied.
No.
Right? No one's really done much to him. All right. Well, I will drop the knight, or they'll hit him with the longsword.
Boom.
The Lord.
Great sword.
Oh, this is the Ambien.
That's much better.
That's an easier word to say.
That's an easier pronunciation.
Oh, and
Woo!
You bring that blade up, and when you carry it down, there's not much dwarf left. You just return his blade, or his strike from one, and carry through the body, just carving directly through.
Perfect. With a speed unlike what we have seen from Killian previously, she's going to do kind of like a little flourish, spin the blade in her hand, and kind of do like an uppercut, like hitting with a baseball bat against this guy, as she uses extra attack for the first time.
Very important question. Do you first call out a home run? You're just like,
No, I don't think she's that confident.
not yet?
She's not
Okay,
that
couple
cool.
more
No,
levels.
yeah,
Couple
she's
more
not there
levels.
yet. She's not there yet.
Hell yeah.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
8 damage.
8 damage. Carving up and through the creature's back, you see the solid just mass of crystal absorb a brunt of this damage. But then it just turns its attention back towards you, and you see the head kind of just like split as like two little dotted eyes close on the front, and one opens in the back. The other still paying attention towards Jhojo.
Perfect. Well, seeing that she has its attention, Killian's just gonna give a little whistle, and that's the sign for Strumbeak to give it a little pop. So doop. +4. Oh, he's a good bird.
He's a good bird. What is the range of this attack? Because you're currently 25 feet up.
The range of it is, let me click it so I can get the stats. 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay, you will need to move forward a little bit.
Oh, I see. Right, diagonals and such. Yeah, she'll Strumbeak will like move to be above Killian by like 10 feet or so.
Okay.
Like a number 3.
Yeah. How dare you make me do math in my role playing game?
The ultimate tool of the adventurer is trigonometry.
6 force damage.
6 force. Taking the full bit of force as it tears through the crystal and rips off of the back of the fungal creature. It just begins to enrage as you see those lights begin to move aggressively, and it is now bloodied. It is going to take a desperate maneuver and unleash a cloud of spores. It's I don't think you guys have seen this attack yet. Could I have a DC number Constitution saving throw, please, with advantage for those who are wearing masks?
22.
Ooh, hello. One more of those, Vincent.
Oh, I didn't do it with advantage. I'm dumb.
Yeah, just
Here,
one more
let me
D20.
I'll roll Matilda's first quickly.
Strumbeak is immune to the poisoned condition and poison damage. I imagine that prevents whatever this is.
This one, it has a separate stunned condition, but it does not poison you, and then when poisoned stun, it just does two separate things.
Okay.
So Strumbeak would need to roll this.
Would
Actually,
need to roll,
Strumbeak's a
okay.
construct, yes?
Yes.
She's immune to this in the first place.
Okay.
Vincent, with your additional D20 rolled 15, you succeed. Matilda does not succeed with a 9. Matilda's already stunned.
Double stunned.
Super stun. Matilda takes a grand total of, that is, 5 points of poison damage.
Stone cold stunner.
Yeah. She's lifted up and then slammed onto her back.
He's still
and
fine.
Killian, anything with the rest of your turn?
No, that is I.
Most excellent. Matilda, at the end of your turn, you may roll an additional Constitution saving throw.
With advantage because of the mask.
No, because you're currently stunned from the spores. It's not about breathing more in; it's about fighting off the effect that's already there. Matilda
not gonna
remains stunned.
She's just a board.
I mean, and everyone
Yeah.
else is just like, man, Matilda's doing really good. She killed like 2 people right off the bat. I don't even know where she is. Stealthy as fuck. Great job. Jhojo, you were up.
Oh, Vincent saw her get stunned. He knows she's still back there.
Okay.
Matilda's just lagging.
She's running forward. Is like, guys, I'm gonna. Rubber banding.
Yeah.
Where's my Warhammer in my character thing? Get over here, Warhammer. Thank you. Warhammer. What? Warhammer, where are you? Attack!
Was that a Warriors reference?
I have no idea.
Clash of Clans reference.
Okay.
Advantage.
I wanted to hear
I mean, recklessly.
Come out and play, yay.
Also,
It's
nice.
19 to hit, and I'll do it versatile. That is 14 bludgeoning damage.
14 damage.
Branch.
Branch is
Crunch,
right,
crunch.
but also sploosh. Go ahead and tell me what happens.
Oh boy. So Killian comes in with her she does barrel roll over the thing, comes with her home run, and then Thrumbeat does a little boop, fire up. And so as Thrumbeat does the little force blast and knocks the mushroom closer towards me, I go in with my Warhammer and do a 360 spin and just sploosh the head right off of it.
Yeah.
The head just slams and the smell of mushrooms fills the area, but also this just rank cloud of spores erupts from out of it. And as you kill this thing,
Yay.
everyone within 5 feet, so Killian and Jhojo, I need you to make a con saving throw with advantage.
These masks are doing so much work.
Oh,
They
that's
are.
so
They're really
good.
working hard.
So good.
19.
Jhojo and Killian, you managed to fight off the just vicious spore attack that slams into you and begins to attempt to tear into your senses. But you also see these spores almost move, with intent. As they blast out of the creature, they seem to curl around you guys, and instead of
Ooh.
just an outward spore cloud, they all seem to just
They're
begin to
sentient.
suck into the sources of heat around them. As you manage
Don't
to
like that.
get
Never
these
mind.
things off of you, the spores finally settle and just fizzle out into the open air, and they're gone.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe she's
Um,
controlling them.
And then he goes over here, pops the store open.
Continues running.
Yes. Yes. That is my turn. Yes.
Yes. No!
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The
Um,
sickos meme, Jhojo just opening the door.
It's Jhojo.
As you open the door and these creatures turn their attention towards you, having seen you, they enter the fray.
Welcome.
Welcome to the fray. This one moves its full speed up towards you and then just kind of stands proudly as though to block the path. You see it reach its hands down into the ground and just begin to puff itself out like a cocking gun, slowly just beginning to expand into this just mass of fungus, and then crystals form out almost in this just predatory fashion. Don't come this way. You can sense the threat. It's going
Ooh,
to
this is
roll
where
intimidation
she is,
against you.
huh? What do I contest against intimidation?
I think it's just wisdom, isn't it?
Yeah, this would be it's not a wisdom saving throw. This would just be
Okay.
look at your skills here.
Usually
Contest-
it's just a
Contest with
roll.
intimidation?
Oh, we need to set a DC. So I will say intimidation versus insight to see whether or not it can
Okay.
back up this attack against your
Uh-huh.
character.
Yeah.
15?
Yeah.
It's one of those good rolls. Let me see.
Yeah.
Above average.
It's this is a 16 with a -3. As it moves up, you look on towards this thing, and you feel like there's some serious fucking pain coming your way if you attempt to move
Ooh.
up to or past it. That's all I'm really gonna say.
She just looks at it she's like, I'm not sure how to get past this thing.
It seems satisfied at your
My
hesitation.
hesitation, yeah.
The dwarvish miner at the far end turns and begins to run up towards you. He's going to actually dash to make it up to you.
Hey, I was just gonna say this guy never went.
Which guy?
The one I'm thinking.
He is currently
He's
a massive
cowering
crystal.
Yeah.
He has to flee though.
It currently is its fear response was to immediately root itself into the wall and like Tomb of Levistus itself, so it's ultimate protection.
Interesting. Okay, so like the ruling wise, if creatures have special abilities, they can overrule what the magic items do. Just
This is as you are looking at this creature. What is your passive insight? Here's what I will tell you. As you are looking at this creature, the creature itself doesn't seem to be there anymore. Like it's just a mass of crystals. As you are looking at it, its body is solidified. It's almost like its consciousness is left.
Cool.
Yeah. So, ruling-wise, it has fled the best way it possibly could. And as we continue down here, based on your knowledge of the magic item and your passive insight, I think you gain access to that information.
Cool.
Now, the dwarvish miner runs forward. Is there another of you? No. So, Vincent, you are up.
Okay. Still not seeing. Oh. Well. You are next. Can you put Hex on him?
This guy over here? Oh, why him?
You are
I'm feeling bad for him.
You know why.
I know why.
I'm gonna shoot him with a firebolt. Do I have an advantage because he's frightened? I can't remember. Or does he only have disadvantage?
I think
He
you
has
have
disadvantage on
against-
attack rolls. I believe
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I believe you do.
Sweet.
Yeah.
20.
You do not have advantage. But
Oh.
it's the attack roll has already been decided, so you have that natural 20 on this round.
Yeah. 20. The nat 20 was technically the roll.
Oh yeah, perfect. So
Beauty.
you lob this flame. He turns around to notice you for a brief moment as you just say, "You're next," and that echoes through. He turns around to finally see the source of his fear, and for the first time, he's just like, he just drops as you unleash this flaming bolt towards him, and with 43 damage.
He's hexed.
That. Oh my god.
This is a cantrip.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
Holy moly.
As you blast this guy
Bianca.
for 86 damage.
86 damage.
Nothing remains. I'm deleting this token. That flame just incinerates the body. You see,
Picture Vincent says this is next, and like his arm lights with like the fire from Firebolt, but it's like a little bit more than usual. And when he hucks it, it almost like
Right
hits
past
him, but
Jojo's
then
head.
like encircles him in like a flame of fire, and then he just yells out in agony. And when the fire like stops and comes down, there's nothing left.
Oh
here's what
my
I'm going to
God.
say too. Roll a fate dice for this just phenomenal point of damage.
I think Jojo just like looks back at you and is just like, fuck.
Nat 20.
Oh my
As he's
God.
hit the keys, it looks like he's turning, and in his aggression, he's about to fucking throw them into that pit over to the side. As you firebolt him, literally enough momentum that he gets blasted, throws the keys straight forward. They fly over Jhojo through the doorway and land at your feet, Vincent.
Catch them, catch them.
Yeah, can he attempt to catch him?
You don't need to roll. They land in your finger as you say, "You're next," and you point. Ding, 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 ding. Keys land on your outstretched finger.
Yes.
Oh,
Cool.
hell yeah.
Coolest thing ever. Yeah, Jojo is just there. The blast of fire went past her face. She sees the keys go over. She's just like, she's just staring at you wide-eyed. Like she just saw the craziest thing she's ever seen in her life.
Anything with the rest of your turn?
He'll take another step forward and then just
Alrighty. The dwarvish miner is looking on towards Jhojo. He's gonna take 2 pick attacks. I mean, he doesn't
Okay.
care about cool stuff.
he's mindless.
This guy's, for the
Not
most part, all about
mindless?
just attack.
Get it? Mind? Huh?
He's
Not that it's any
mindless.
less cool to do like 40 plus damage to a essentially a peasant or whatever, but just you might want to fix your macro because it's you added 26 instead of 2d6.
Oh.
I was
did
like,
you
that's
do
a lot
that?
of damage at this level.
Hold on.
Aha! That makes
But
sense.
it's
There we go.
I don't
Still
think he
a-
was surviving. Yeah.
No, it's still an absolutely ludicrous amount of damage.
Oh boy.
Stupid. My keyboard's been doing this lately. It just doesn't register the D key very well.
That's okay. One way or the other, this guy is flambéed in
Yeah.
a similar fashion.
Would've
Equivalently
been
fucking mad.
Curious how much this would have actually been.
But while you encounter that, the miner takes 2 attacks towards you, Jhojo, with these like odd pick hammers, and then as it slams into you with one of them, you manage to kind of just like throw it down. It just slams the hammer into the ground and gets lodged. And as it pulls away, it just says, fuck it, let's go, and pulls out a crossbow and begins to take a couple steps backwards past the creature. And just kind of relying on the intimidation this thing's pulling, just begins to back up, and you see it just open a little doorway for him and close
You
up.
said, sorry, you said that it hit with one?
No, it missed both, but you managed to
okay.
deflect one down. It gave up on its warhammer, kind of moving back from the natural one,
Nope,
and then
that's
is now
correct.
taking aim with the crossbow behind a shield of fungus. But you can take an attack of opportunity.
Yes, that is what I will do.
So, just FYI, it was correct. The 26 is coming from
That's
the
the
max
crit.
dice.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah.
That was correct.
Oh, right,
Okay.
right.
I'm so
Vincent is
satisfied.
Yeah.
And they're being like, but I feel like math correct.
Yeah. I
Oh
forgot
boy.
that crits are like maxed out.
Every crit, we're
everyone
just
else
like,
is
that can't be
critting.
right.
Everyone's critting. 31 damage. That's 31 bludgeoning damage on this guy.
I feel like Vincent inspired you.
Yes,
in a-
absolutely. Jojo turns back, sees the key ring go around your finger, and it's like, fuck, that's cool, and goes around and immediately slams down the hammer
You
on
make like a
his
crater and the whole door like splinters away.
Yeah, as you fuck it, the doorway explodes. You bring that down, and you just create this fucking indent in the ground. There was a dwarf here as well, but there is not anymore. You see 2 arms and like legs, and the rest is just squished down into the ground as the entire form of the body hits back. Crossbow
Yeah.
just desiccated, and the doorway can no longer close. The wooden supports just
Do I find any cool geodes in the crack that I made?
roll a fate dice.
Vincent just takes the keys
Please.
and
Oh my
his
God.
tail takes them. And he
Okay.
looks over and he's like, good job.
As he falls down and slams into the ground, as you pull your warhammer back, the other one's kind of attached to it, and you see these crystals that are sitting on the warhammer on the back transfer themselves onto your weapon.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, cool.
And that was the dwarf's turn. So Gillian, you are up.
She's currently using her dad's warhammer, by the way.
Ooh, that's cool.
Age, can you make this guy dead? He's not. Oh, you deleted his token, so he's just.
Yeah, he's just gone. This guy is also just gone.
That's interesting.
He's formed his own human doorway for you guys.
So the only thing remaining right now is this little sprout.
Yes, and as you look at it, you see the faintest little like anime sweat drop appear over its head, as it's the only thing remaining in your guys' line of sight.
Tried to intimidate Jhojo, and in return, we did this.
All right. Well, I don't think I can even reach it. So, we have like everyone's been kind of like running around doing cool shit, and like Matilda's just like nowhere to be seen, right?
Vincent
Like,
did.
can I see Matilda from where I am?
She's on the other side of the doorway. But previously she was invisible when you guys ran in.
Yeah, Vincent.
You know
if,
she's somewhere over there.
If you seem like you're like looking around, or if you mention you're looking for her, he'll let you know where she is. He saw her go stunned in the doorway. So.
Okay. Killian is just gonna go check on her, just in case like there are enemies like behind us that we didn't know about. And is just gonna kind of backtrack to see if she's okay.
Do you use your action to perceive?
Is she still invisible?
No, as you move over towards the doorway, you look over and you can actually see her. She's kind of like fighting off. She's just flexing her fingers and barely gaining movement back from her body.
Okay. I'll stick with her. Just because I don't want to have anyone like just like alone and like stuck in this weird state. But I'm gonna whistle at Strumbeak to take a shot at the little sprout.
Okay. Strumbeak will need to move a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you want
Probably
them
just
to remain
needs to
10 feet
move
up?
down in a little bit. Not anymore. There's not like a lot of dangerous things. At least 5 feet up, like kind of buzzing around like Vincent's shoulder. Like
I would figure
area.
it would just like land on his shoulder.
I mean, yeah, that works too.
And
just
Oh no, it lands on his horn. I think that's cooler.
yeah. Pew, 16.
60. Slams into the creature. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh, actually, 1 sec. It is currently... Yeah, no, that hits.
It's a little defensive mode. 6 force damage.
Force, excellent. The creature is remaining alive, but you see you just tore a small hole through the fungal, like, soft, spongy body, and now you, like, there's fucking... Beyond, you don't see anything, and through this entire area, just a sheer, just destruction. There's blood splattered everywhere. Strumbeak is like just illuminated by torchlight as its eyes begin to glow, like underlit in this just viscera, like parade around it. Welcome to
God.
life, Strumbeak.
I love the words viscera parade.
Yeah,
I
thought
love
you
that.
might.
All right, that is Killian's turn. She's just gonna stay with Matilda.
At the beginning of Matilda's turn, the stun ends. Stun finally passes as the creature who had caused it begins to dissipate, and those active spores in her body go dormant.
Okay. Can she use her action to just be like, you know, let's go, Killian, and like grab her hand and move with her?
For sure. Killian, you are surrounded by a lot of dead things. Go ahead and
I sure am.
remove as many of those as possible. They're in order guard. That's you, Killian. You're not dead, are you? No,
Not as far as I know.
Yeah.
Not yet. Let me grab you. Move you guys. So 5 feet. This is, you can kind of shuffle around this way.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Yep, I think that's her turn then, action movement.
Oh, dash action?
Well, she used her action to move Killian.
It's an, okay. Yeah,
It's basically a
You're
grapple,
absolutely
but
correct.
Killian doesn't resist.
Yeah.
perfect. And Matilda grabs Killian's hand, and as the two begin to run back into the area and prepare to look around,
She will heal herself as a bonus action, actually.
How's
Um,
her health looking?
She looks fine. She's
Killian
is
is
not
nearly
bloodied
bloodied.
yet. Oh, Killian is?
Is nearly bloodied.
Okay.
Not quite yet, but
Oh yeah, she can't split her healing. She'll do you. I think she would heal you in this case. She'll do.
nice.
So 3.
2 healing light, 7
Yeah.
points.
7 points. Because it's medium healing.
Much better. I don't like it when the red filly uppy is like around like mouth nose area. I'm like, no,
I'm drowning.
drowning in blood.
As the situation around them becomes dire, and just hearing this mad destruction, you guys see an additional guard round the corner, look down the pathway, pull out a short bow, 2 arrows knocked, and just let 2 arrows fly towards you, Jhojo.
Mm-hmm. Let me just read my Wild Magic Surge.
It's melee only, right?
I wouldn't believe so, but
It'd be
I believe it's when
really
they make
cool
a
if it
melee
just
attack
arcs
against
to like little zaps.
One of these manages to hit you, and it does a solid 2 points of piercing damage, halved to
So
1.
1.
oh, when a creature hits you with an attack roll, that creature takes force damage.
Ooh, that's even better. He felt so safe. He like rounded the corner and was like, I'm at a distance. I'm going to take a pot shot and run away.
Wait,
Go
how much-
ahead and unleash
How much
that
damage
force.
did I take?
1.
You took 1 total. Already
oh,
have.
no.
Yeah, it like pings off your armor and you see like a little tiny like scratch and you're just like, and then
Incoming trade offer. You
It's
take
a
1
4.
piercing damage.
It's 4 force damage. So
I
like
take
they
8
go,
force damage.
boom, take a shot at me. It just was like, and it just sort of like buzzes off me. But like the energy around Joe goes, like, and it like shoots its own little tiny bullet right towards him.
and slams into the guy's like right thigh and just leaves a smoking hole through him as he just that echoes out throughout the chamber.
Screaming.
They
So
turn
much
their
screaming.
People
they
talk
turn
too
their
much.
attention towards you guys. He's already used his 30 feet of movement, so he's there for now. My friend. What's he got?
Darkness, my old friend.
He's going to take a desperation maneuver as well, and he's going to just move his speed. For those who are unaware, that's basically just if a creature gets bloodied, some creatures have maneuvers that they can perform at the moment of becoming bloodied for the first time in combat. So he is just going to pull himself as best he can and dash the fuck away.
I remember when we were playing a good campaign and we tried to not kill anyone. This is way more fun.
And as the person takes chase, Jhojo, you were up, but that you don't know what's gonna happen. That guy looks he's freaky. He's in the way.
I know I'm a little uncomfortable with this guy. So
What's
I
your
think
passive
Jhojo-
insight?
My passive insight?
You're a little
10.
uncomfortable with this guy.
He's just gonna. Where is she? I'm gonna say this little thing.
You move 5 feet forward.
Yeah.
The body just you see the lights in it just go dim, and the kind of like fungal spores remain intact, but the mind just leaves.
Oh. He's uncomfortable still. Jesus Christ. Okay. These like shards that are on her hammer. She's carefully gonna go around this guy. What color are they? Are they like the pink shards that they've been?
I didn't
over the
expect
place?
you to look this soon. As the creature's sentience leaves its body as a husk, you see the light in your shards on the hammer begin to glimmer ever so slightly with color.
Oh my god, that's cool. But also my weapon's gonna turn against me any second. She's just gonna hold it a little bit away from her. And
You
just like
Vincent, like you look at your hammer weird. Can he see you doing that?
yeah, I think you can see her just be like, and she holds her hammer a little far away. But yeah, Jojo's just gonna stay here. I think that she didn't attack anyone. She's not gonna take damage. Ooh.
You took 1 point.
I took 1 point previously,
Mm.
so if I don't get attacked this next round,
Yeah, you still have another round.
I'm always confused about which portion comes first. Like if it's like if I don't attack, is rage gonna end, or if I don't get hit, is rage gonna end?
At the start of your next turn, if you have not attacked a creature or been hit, then your rage goes down. But it's always at the start of your turn. You do a little check to be like, has this happened? No, I'm raging.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
got attacked by an arrow, which means you don't have to attack this round. But if you don't get attacked before the start of your
Okay.
next turn, you will lose it.
Okay, so it's just, okay, cool.
There is what amounts to a creature still behind you if you want to just...
No, I will hold my action. I'll hold my action to attack anything that gets within range of me.
Okay.
Anything?
Any
Well, she-
hostile
You can
creature.
still determine. You can
I'm just
still
make-
determine.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
You can cancel your held actions too.
Yeet.
Jojo's holding out her hammer weird, and now she's got this look in her eye. You guys are essentially out of combat right now.
Oh.
Mhm.
No, I don't want to attack it. I was just thinking I could slam my hammer down and just destroy the crystals on it, but I don't want to do that. It'd be pretty cool to have a sentient hammer.
Here's what I will do right now. I'm going to remove these combatants. We are technically still in initiative order for the duration of this, like, mine shaft. But as you guys are looking onwards, you hear the sound of someone terrified running away. Vincent, you are up.
Vincent is going to look towards Jhojo. His passive insight, could he pick up on the fact that that he also thinks there might be someone in her hammer? At least like these things retreat into the crystals or something.
What is your passive perception as well? 16 and 19? I think you have the gist of it.
Okay. Vincent is going to spend his bonus action and try and mind link with the crystals. They're considered, I guess, a creature or something that has intelligence.
As you connect in,
Or
you just...
language.
As you connect in, you hear...
Here's the 1,000-fold tone.
You hear this just constant repetition of these notes that just ring out in this just fine kind of, almost like it's like a xylophone with continued notes that just never die down, just like dee, 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 dee. A phenomenon known to be the hive mind of monsters within the Dungeon of Avernus.
You are on hold.
Yeah, you are trying to connect to America Online.
Vincent will take some steps forward. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, he'd like to go there, but he cannot.
You can't move through this space. It's just jam-packed with stuff.
Can I just step on this dude then? And then do that?
Yeah, that's fine. It's not actually currently blocking your pathway. It was just trying to make it seem like it was.
Okay. He'll look towards Jhojo as he's standing next to you. These things, and he'll point down towards the little mushroom dude. They're from the dungeon.
Oh.
Have a sneaking suspicion there might be a rift down here.
Yes. Can I use my held action to now smash the crystals on the hammer?
You may.
Okay, great.
You take the hammer down, slam it into the ground, and you just want to shake the crystals, destroying them?
Yeah.
It just shatters off the hammer.
Damn,
you see it kind of like just shatter outwards like a shrapnel bomb into the ground, and as you lift it up, you see radiant damage kind of sizzling the ground underneath, and then eventually it loses its energy.
Damn, that would have been cool.
You can always maybe get Killian to tinker with it. You can install some gems back on.
Really
Speaking
outrageous.
of which, are you two okay back there? Heals out to Killian.
Yeah. Matilda was stuck, but is fine now.
Okay.
And as combat dies down and you hear the distant footsteps of the individual, Vincent, you begin to dash in and glancing around the corner. You don't yet see them.
He'll look here. He sees them.
Now you manage to see them. As you make it just far enough to witness their flight.
He sees a very decorated knight down the hallway that's also a badger.
It's also a badger.
I don't know. The image looks like
That's a fun story you're making. No, as you look over and you can see that there's this individual knight who's wearing this very colorful and decorated armor that is currently writing on a piece of parchment, but like they don't seem to have been responding to all of this vicious screaming. You see them, they're just kind of writing in the distance, and as this individual's running and just yelling out loud, like even from where you are to where they are, it feels dampened.
Okay. Well, he'll take a step. No, he wants to see what this guy's going to do. He's going to go by the end of this turn. Yeah, he'll stay here, even if it's in the line of sight.
And at the end of your turn, we will take our first break. See you all shortly for more madness.
And explosions, and hopefully vivisected people.
We can only hope. Vincent, you just ended your turn. Yes?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, does this lead to a wall?
It leads to a wall. There is a particularly large chunk of this just refractive crystal that is inset into the wall. So they built a little bridge to it.
To mine it out? Okay.
Indeed.
It's just sus, so I was asking.
Look at that bridge and you're like, I don't know, you got 19 passive insight. The bridge can't hide shit. Killian, you're up. You're being held by hand of Matilda and running forward.
All right. I'll just kind of like, nod and like relinquish my hand, and then just zoom. I can get to, I guess, here. I think by dashing. Oops, I'm not selecting my token. There we go. Yeah, because I can't get. Oh, no, that's a wall.
Not quite, yeah.
All right. I will run to here.
Your mage hand is just like, goodbye.
Yeah. It did its job. It opened a door. And then Killian will just kind of like, recall Strumbeak, and Strumpy will just zoop all the way back over to her.
I thought you meant recall, like, and then I remember Strumbeak. Oh, what a bird.
Yeah. Not much of a turn, but I'm just kind of catching up.
Not much of a turn, but it's mine. And Matilda, you are up.
Okay. I think Matilda would just follow along. Actually, she will probably spend her action to like lean down and grab some samples of the fungus.
What about the crystally fungus boy?
Yeah, like there's dead bodies all around her.
There's at this point half the room is filled with these just bits and bobs of people and plants. But you reach down and you scoop up a little part of this. Go ahead and roll nature to attempt to get this in a way that does not affect the goods.
She guide herself?
Yeah. As a,
Although
as
that
an
would
act-
take an action as well.
would be an action. Let me in order to actually try and pick this stuff apart, it would be an action to do this, but you have alchemy tools proficiency, so you can add
Another plus.
you can
for-
roll with roll another d20 and we'll take the higher. I think they call that like an A word that would be a funny joke here, but I can't think of one.
Assistance.
Thank you. That's what it was.
That is. Yeah, so she doesn't add her proficiency to this. She just rolls nature with advantage.
With a 15, reaching down, you attempt to like grab some of the fungus and the crystal, and as you pull it up, the fungus just shrivels and the crystal loses all color.
Ooh. The crystal shrivels?
No, it loses all color.
Fungus
Oh.
shrivel.
The fungus
I think
shrivels
she
and the
could-
crystal
She'd
loses
still
all
put
color.
it in her bag, but she would probably be.
Ah, a shrivel crystal. I've never
Yeah,
seen one before.
I can't give you guys a shrivel crystal this early in the campaign. It was an action, so Matilda cannot dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll go back.
Matilda runs up to everybody else. The guard, this is the point that I wanted him to get to, runs over here and dashes into the room, grabs onto the decorated knight, and just begins to alert him to the situation as he's just like aggressively shaking and talking to this person who turns around and just like looks on and down the hall and probably sees you, Vincent. Just sees barely
like
a
90
little,
feet away.
just a little shred of Vincent through the corner. He just pulls out a massive, impressive-looking longsword, puts it against his shoulder, stands, snaps his fingers, and one of these little sprouts just moves into position as the other two join the fray. And they look down the hall towards you as the knight just looks back and... you got any movement left? You do, 10 feet. He's going to go into the corner. Jhojo. One moment. Actually, these two might gain initiative before you.
How dare.
They do.
Sprout goes first.
Not hard to do.
Yeah. Well, they did not roll impressively, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. This one begins to trudge down towards you, Vincent, and you see him pull something out of his shirt pocket and just crush it as you see this like silver liquid begin to pour down the veins of the individual. Opening their hand, they grab onto that sword and just continue to trounce forward, raising the blade up almost in a form of challenge. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. It's compelled duel. Hell yeah. Yes.
16.
16? You just succeed.
Yes.
The individual continues to move forward towards you.
Can he see? Can he? You don't know if that spell actually like succeeded or failed on the individual, right? Until you see how they respond.
Whatever he's doing right now is not concentration, it seems, because he's moving forward as though nothing has changed.
Yeah.
So he is trouncing forward towards you.
Vincent will smirk and smile at him, feeling that urge to like go at each other, but then it like fades and he knows he's in control of it again, and he'll try and like bait him on a little bit, but we'll see.
And then as he continues to stride forward. Excellent. So, moment. With confidence, he continues to push forward towards you. And that's about it. Jhojo, you're up.
Bonus action. Jhojo is going to drink alcohol.
Nice.
Chug, chug, chug.
I have 2 questions while she's doing this. How tall is
Let's do it just after her turn. We'll jump into these questions. And then you restore 15 hit points as the just
15.
alcohol does what all alcohol does without any aid of magical assistance. Welcome to my homebrew world, everybody.
Okay. And now that I have been healed with my bonus action, I have an action to go. That's my movement. An action.
she's
Should I
half orc?
action? Should I action get up in his business? We got a lot of ranged people with me. Or should I just javelin him from here?
Since it will let you know that he like crushed something and powered up his arm, so he's planning something.
I will javelin. Some may call it.
Nice.
She said javelin, but like
Oh,
in the
javelin.
context
I was like, I shall javelin. Like, sweet. I understand the nature of this.
of- Oh,
Sashay away.
Javelin. Javelin, oui, oui. Attaque.
All
Oh.
flawless French.
I apologize to any French viewers. These are all horrible.
We swear we're Canadian.
Just, we're on
Pamplemousse.
the other side. Perfect. That's the traditional French apology of pamplemousse.
Soleil.
So
Hey, that's in world.
Disadvantage though.
As you launch
I would have a
this,
disadvantage?
you are beyond the range of the typical
Well,
javelin.
then, let me reroll.
Reroll. He will once again do
Um,
the same thing he tried to do.
And that I'll just take the damage from the first one. So 9 piercing damage.
One moment. This is not taking into account my reaction. Make sure that this is hits. 18. That's post this. As you throw the javelin, you launch it towards him. He takes that longsword and just slams into the side of the javelin, deflecting it into the ground next to him. And
got a
he's now
badass
used his
over here.
reaction.
And I believe that is my turn.
All right. The sprout that was with him begins to charge forward. And as his little buddy just rushing forward into the center of the area, leans back, lets loose a small line of spores towards you guys.
Small, that's pretty long.
If it's a line, it can only hit one, me or Jhojo. I don't think it can hit for both of us.
Unless it's a wide line.
That's not a line. That's a-
You just attacked, so he's going to spore you, Jojo. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. With a mask?
Indeed,
Advantage?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that dude wearing a
24.
mask?
Roll with assistance. 24, perfect. You succeed. The spores pass over and around you.
Adequate.
No effect. Adequate. Wouldn't it be adequate? Vincent, as the creature now puffs out its chest and once again attempts to look intimidating, you are up.
Okay, I'll ask questions. How tall is this part of the catacomb? Is it like 30 feet tall or?
Typically, as a general rule, you can take the width of something from corner to corner is also the height of it.
Okay.
So if
it's
you're
only
looking here,
like
these are about
20
15
tall?
feet tall to 20 feet tall at the width.
Okay, I'm particularly talking about the area above this dude.
10 feet tall.
So his feet would be at the 5 foot mark, even if he was on the ceiling.
I'm sorry, what?
So let's just say he were to be on ceiling for
Okay.
reasons. Would he still be able to attack the people on the ground?
Yes. At the point he is right now, yes.
Cool.
Also, you guys, as you move into this area, it's sloping upwards rather aggressively. Like, you guys are 10 feet above where you were when you entered, and he's another 10 feet above you guys. The
Okay.
whole cavern is sloping up as you move in.
That was me throwing my javelin.
I think this is still fine. And does he look like he has like a bow on his back or anything, or has he just got this cool looking sword?
As you look at him, he has a rather heavy crossbow. And he has a small amulet around his neck of a ballista.
Okay. Interesting. Would you consider the amulet around his neck a loose object?
He's wearing it. It is being worn and or carried.
Okay.
Loose object is foreign terminology to me in this game.
Yeah, it does. It says I can target. It has no specification that it can't be worn or carried. It just says a loose object. So I figured like a necklace. I want to cast levitate on his necklace. That would
Levitate.
work?
Let me take a grand gander at the spell. One creature or loose object of your choice you can see within range rises vertically. Yeah. I'm cool with
Doesn't
that.
say-
It doesn't. Target can only move by being blah, 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 blah. It seems you're good.
It was like a
It doesn't
collar
say
or
it
a
can't be worn
choker.
or carried.
Probably
Yeah,
would.
I wouldn't do that.
Precisely.
But if it's like a big amulet thing, I figured it could just float up, and by the time he's like, "What?" Because it'd be gone.
So it's lifting up off of his body. Here's what I'll do. He has used his reaction to parry, so at that same moment, as he is currently distracted, it lifts up off of his neck and hits the roof 5 feet up.
Nice.
So I'm going to mark a little square here just to remind me that that's in that space. That's it. You levitate, vroom, flies up, ding, 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 slams up against the roof, and also bonk for wood hitting stone. Master of sound effects.
Okay. So Vincent will concentrate on that instead of the hex he had going before. And as a bonus action, he's going to turn towards Jhojo and be like, "You think you can take that guy, right?"
Oh yeah.
Good. And you feel inspired to want to crush his face into the
Oh
ground.
yeah, definitely. I can definitely crush his face to the ground.
You look back at the dwarf that is now just a human doorway of head smushed into ground and torso, and you're just like, oh yeah, I got it.
Okay. And he'll take a step back here. And then
Okay.
this time.
At the end of your turn, Vincent, you hear "Charge!" as two glimmering fungal beasts begin to rush around the corner down towards you, Jhojo. Making it
Fungal beast.
almost all
Oh,
the
these
way there.
guys.
Make it all the way there? No. As they reach this corner, both lean back and launch a 15, or not 15, sorry. But they launch a cone towards you that just begins to erupt out and around corners. Let me see the distance here. Will this, technically speaking, hit? Would this hit you? I think as it slams into the wall and begins to permeate throughout the chamber, it begins to circle around and begin to siphon. So that's another 20 feet. So from here, 20-foot cone.
It seems 5, 10, 15, 20 feet would only be like there.
No. I'm doing, because 20 feet past the wall. Actually, this would be a 25-foot cone. God damn you, Killian. Just barely outside of the reach of, as it slams into the wall and carries itself down the rest of the way. Killian, you're standing there as they just reach up to you and fade out. But I need both Vincent and Jhojo to roll a Constitution saving throw with advantage. Actually, that will be 2 Constitution saving throws with advantage.
Okay.
Okay. Succeed.
Nice.
I'm missing 1. There we go. Finally.
If I add 2 to that roll, will it change the outcome?
Is that an ability that you ask me and I answer truthfully? Or is this an ability you do and then we find it?
Do and then fine. He'll add 2 to the roll, is basically what he's saying.
Okay, so you're
You were
adding 2
like,
to the roll.
yes.
Excellent.
16.
So with a 16, you succeed. Most excellent. As the just 2 blasts of this dense, just spore-covered smoke with glittering, just beautiful gemstones adorning it, and it fills the room, and everyone looks onward in bated breath, and as it settles, both of you are standing there, dust off your fucking shoulders, and look down towards this onslaught of people, and all of them at once are just in mad confusion. Killian, you're up.
We're gonna leave this mine, and it's gonna look like we just did the color run.
festival of colors down here.
Yeah. Oh man, can Killy even get to where? No. So slow without blade beak. All right. All right. Well, seeing that like at this point we seem to be like trading like assaults like down and up this corridor, Killian is going to put away her longsword, pull out her gun, and then she's going to just do her little whistle to Strumbeak. But first, because Strumbeak is currently on Killian will ferry Strumbeak. Is this difficult terrain to go past the glimmering crystal thing, or is it just kind of there? It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Also, I fixed
the
module should properly calculate now. I just got rid of the one that should be displaying to you guys all the information.
Oh, okay.
But everything should be.
I see. Okay, cool. So I will go there then. Yeah, perfect. And then I'm gonna. Oops. Hold on, I need to grab Strumbeak separate. Ah! Thank you. Are any of the enemies within 30 feet?
Yes. You currently have. Oh, this is measuring with a lot of difficult terrain through the walls. Both the large fungal in the front and the small fungal behind it are within 30 feet.
Okay. Strumbeak will go for the large fungal. And just, take a little shot. Oh, did I close all of my tabs for some reason? I think I did. Give me one moment. Not my, browser tabs, just my, little characters and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Nah, not great.
Slams against the stone off to the side.
All right. Strumbeak retreats around the corner, just kind of hovering midair.
That's freaky for anybody. Most people just see a blur of color and then a laser beam.
I like to think that Strumbeak went out into the corridor, shot, but was already turning around, and so just slammed into the cavern.
You have to recalibrate its movement and shot matrix next time you have a chance.
Yeah.
Matilda's turn. Bianca, Matilda's turn.
Oh, sorry. Tamara's got this, right? As in, I was thinking about strategies for Vincent. Okay, 5, 10. Oh, yeah, I can't do this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then Achilles. She will false life herself as an action. 7 temp health. And then as a bonus action, is it? No one's looking that. How Jhojo drank potion, right?
Yeah.
Drink beer.
Okay, she'll heal herself for 1.
Thank you for reminding me because I did not take that off my character sheet.
Ooh, 6 health. Ooh, Matilda's good as rain. And then she'll end her turn.
Healing light pours over her, and the wounds begin to close. The decorated knight reaches for an amulet around his neck that is no longer there, and then in frustration, plants his longsword in the ground and pulls out that heavy crossbow. Lets loose 2 bolts that fly through down towards the only person he can see, Jhojo.
Yep, that's me.
How many creatures are you going through? Okay, so you have +2 to your AC from this guy. He will use his reaction to bring himself down to the ground. And the decorated knight. Are you in the darkness?
Yes.
It does
she
seem like
is.
I am.
That is darkness.
Okay. He's going to shoot
disadvantage.
with disadvantage. Actually, no. Yes. Previously, you were shining 5 feet of light because of your weapon, but you smashed the crystals. You are, in fact, in darkness.
Fuck crystals.
And as he launches those 2 shots towards you with disadvantage.
Aha! Glad we noticed this.
Two. Boom, boom, slam into the stone behind you. Both miss.
Oh.
Leans down and just begins.
It looks like it's gonna take a while for him to reload.
He just kind of, as you see, like the dual shot that he just did actually seems to be a function of the weapon, not like a quick shot. Oh my god, put it in, take 15 seconds to reload this heavy crossbow and then shoot again. But as he then begins to look onwards towards everything that's happening, bonus action.
Like, does he finish reloading it?
Yes, he manages to reload the weapon.
We can do it every turn. Cool.
He calls out, "You know what is going to happen to you if you do not join the fray now." And you, from this just rousing speech, you see, with renewed bravery, the previous knight who was standing behind, cowering, just begins to move forward with a new glint in his eye. He takes aim into the darkness and also just takes a wild shot. Oh, that was not with disadvantage. Jhojo, once again, another arrow flies in, and you just manage to dodge all three. And Jhojo, it is now your turn.
Well, it seems like I want to stay here. Maybe I'll... How far is it to this guy? It's 20 feet?
To that space is 20. 25 is how far away he is.
Yes. I was wondering if I could go there and then go back to this spot. Are these all both in darkness as well?
They
It looks like it.
I can just see from theirs. This one is in darkness. The one ahead is in dim light.
Oh, okay. How many javelins do I still have? I feel like it's not many. Let me look. Javelani seems like it might be a name of like a expensive brand, like Gucci or whatever. Not sponsored.
They're really expensive coffee.
I can't find how many javelins I have on me, so I'm gonna say I'm out. Yes, I will go up here, and I'll take a swing at this guy with my warhammer.
With my warhammer. You run forward, grabbing your warhammer in hand, and you just go to take a vicious downward slam.
Not recklessly. Let's not do that.
Probably for the best.
What do I do here? Do I want to hit? Because this is not going to hit. Yeah, let's do it.
You are bardically inspired.
That's what I was thinking about. 13 hits?
13 hits. Go and roll damage.
Oh, look at that. 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
The creature, heavily bloodied, as you slam into the vast majority of its body, tearing away most of it. It stands now just a little bit of a head cap and an arm, but still willing to attack.
And then she's gonna pop back into the darkness. Boop,
Okay,
boop.
we'll take an attack of opportunity while it has a chance.
Yes, do that.
Do that. It hits with an 18, and that is 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of poison.
Okay, they take 3 points of force damage.
They are slammed into by that force damage and are just shredded.
Can you once more remind me what those damage types are?
Indeed. 5 points of bludgeoning. So that'd be halved to 2. And then 3 points of poison.
Thank you. And that's my turn?
Are you bloodied yet, Jhojo?
I'm
she healed
not.
before.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I don't think I have anything as a bonus action I can do, so that is my turn.
At the end of your turn, let me go ahead and roll something. Okay. This creature runs into the darkness and takes an attack against Jhojo. Now, having seen Vincent, it's like, it's going to move here. It can't move there. It doesn't have the movement. It's going to attack Jhojo.
Took one look at Vincent, it's like tempting, but no.
But Jhojo, this one also manages to hit. You take 2 points
Okay.
of bludgeoning, halved to 1, and 3 points of poison.
Okay. They take 3.
3? Excellent. You're not concentrating on anything, right?
Nope, I'm raging,
You're
so
raging.
I can't.
The creature, as it just torn into with these 3 points of damage, reels back and then looks towards you, its eyes kind of dazed and looking all over the place. And Vincent, you were up.
That was force damage in case that makes a difference.
Yep.
Does this guy look healthy?
Not bloodied.
And when Vincent was standing over here and he looked over towards the bridge, how deep is this hole?
It goes far enough down that you cannot see the bottom.
Vincent saw the look this thing gave him. He's just like, go away. I needed to roll a strength saving throw.
This is strong. You know.
Yeet.
It's 3.
It is yeeted 5 feet to the edge of this.
But
As he
can
gusted
one
it over.
yeet 5 feet? Doth thou not need to yeet farther to yeet at all? Falls into the darkness. Just immediately. Vroom, and you just hear. And also just the
Only-
faint sound of crystals ding, 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 dancing around
Aw.
at the bottom.
Only the elite can yeet 5 feet.
Thank you.
I want that on a shirt.
I think Vincent will end his turn. Yeah, okay.
Alrighty. At the end of your turn, these glittering creatures. This one positions itself here. And at the command of the decorated knight at the front, just reaches its hands over and spreads its arms out 10 feet. You see it lock as small tendrils begin to form this just faint web around the area. And they begin to prepare. You see them just hold their weapons out, Jhojo, like almost in weight. You see the one at the back, the decorated knight, pull out a piece of flint and light a thin fuse at the edge of his
Uh-oh.
weapon, just holding it in place.
Cannonball.
Actually, that would probably go here. And then as
Uh-oh.
the creature begins to spread its hands out, beginning to form a barricade. Killian, you're up.
Right. Killian will.
Yeah, as Killian goes by, Vincent will be like, you might want to like not run too much. He hears the fuse being lit.
I'm sure it'll be fine. From here, I do not have very good vision, right? I would have to go like one more. Like here? Yeah, that's pretty good. Ooh. All right, hold on. Where did I start? I was here. Oh, what the heck? Is this all difficult terrain?
No, I think it's probably registering on people that are invisible for some reason. So you just count. You can go 5, 10, 15. It'd be 20 feet to get there.
I think
get-
that's because you've taken a second diagonal. But where you are currently, you can go boop, boop, boop. And you have traveled 20 feet currently, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit, I guess.
If you stay, you're still in. No, you'd be in dim lighting there. And the one behind you is darkness.
Yeah, now you are visible.
Yeah.
They do not
I
seem
need-
to have taken any action yet.
Yeah, I need to be closer to do a thing. So I am going to, I prep my rifle, and I will take 2 shots at the fungal creature.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
19. Hits. Go and roll damage.
All right. Not great.
7.
That's all right. 7 damage, and then the gun just does that, like the bullet casing like pops out as the shot fires. It kind of just rotates in the air and like refills itself, and then pops back into the chamber. And I'll take another shot. Ooh, that's not great.
Oh.
Where'd that
That's a
number-
miss. As you take a shot, just a 10. You slam into the creature, but it just bounces off one of the crystals.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Strumbeak like fixates onto the rifle, like a little scope, and fires Their shot.
As you shoot off twice with the rifle, like pop, pop, putting the ammo back in, and you see the smoke lift off, I just picture Strumbeak just like hop towards the front, just be like breathe in the smoke from the shot with its tiny little mouth. Oh, I love Strumbeak.
Yes.
Beauty.
Not canon. DM cannot do that. 23. Go ahead and roll damage. Goodness. 5?
Damage.
Oh, the position of the DM is a hard one. I'm like, kill it. It's not dead yet. Yes, it's alive. No, why didn't you kill it?
Yeah.
You have, as you unleash this last blast, tears through the body, but they are still remaining, and you see those wiry tendrils continue to form a barricade.
Okay. I'm going to, with the last of Strumbeak's movement, Strumbeak is just going to like burrow into my backpack. 'Cause I don't like the fuse being lit. If Strumbeak takes the damage, that's fine, but I don't want to lose the gem that Strumbeak is made of in a pit of darkness.
Strumbeak dives into your backpack and just begins to root around in there, and then remains completely still. And at the end of your turn, Matilda, you're up.
So she's. Oh no, she has dark vision on her right now. Just cast it on her. Just couldn't see in this area, but she can technically see ahead. So the fuse that the dude lit, is it connected to anything?
It's at the edge of his large, heavy crossbow. It's connected into like the mechanics of the crossbow itself. Seems to be a function of the weapon.
I don't know if she'll have to roll a check for this, but does Matilda think that she fire bolted whatever it's connected to, would it explode? There seems to be some sort of gunpowder in it.
What tool proficiencies does Matilda have? I don't think she has any like
Alchemy
artisan's
tool.
tools proficiency.
No, she just has
I don't-
alchemy fire.
I don't think there's a roll that could confirm this that Matilda would be capable of doing. But looking at it,
Gunpowder.
I don't think alchemy makes gunpowder. You need to be proficient with
Yeah, alchemy
either
fire
Smith's
isn't
or Mason's
gunpowder,
tools
it's
to do it.
Okay.
Would
in
Killian's
this-
passive identify it as a potential course of action that she could like shout back to Matilda to do without rolling?
Killian.
Yeah, if Matilda was just like, "Hey, Killian, does
What
that
is-
explode?"
What's 10 plus your... The 8 plus proficiency plus... I mean, you don't have a tool, so that'd be intelligence. 8 plus proficiency plus intelligence for Killian?
That would be 14.
It's not 8, Adrian. It's always 10.
Yeah,
plus.
it's just... Yeah, 10 plus your intelligence. That in this instance.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
it's not
without
actually
proficiency?
tied to a skill. Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, it'd be 13.
13? And let me cross-reference this with your passive. This would be hard. That's the only reason I'm seeing if it's a passively possible thing.
Gotcha.
With a 10 passive perception, I don't think you'd be capable of it either.
Fair enough.
But Matilda, looking at this weapon, I mean, it definitely has something going on, but no confirm or denial from the DM.
Okay. I think she'd take the shot. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Experiments.
Yeah, exactly.
Science.
That's literally what I'm
If
thinking. She's like,
If my hypothesis is correct, that's an explosive
Locked them
weapon.
up really good.
she would have advantage to hit it because she's in darkness.
Mm.
Yes, you're an unseen attacker at current. Let me just double check that. No, actually, he can see you. There's a shred of light through. Matilda is visible.
Oh, could she?
Yep, now you're invisible. Now you're visible again.
Okay, so can you show me where the radius is so she can just move there?
Not easily. This one's invisible. This one's invisible.
Oh, she's down here then.
Sure. Beauty. That's a pretty good hit.
23 to hit.
This is through 4 creatures. They have +5 to their AC at current.
So does the 23 hit the bow? She's not hitting a creature. She's
18.
hitting the bow itself. It's an object.
23 is its AC. So with meter beat, you hit.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice. I'm so glad the
and-
math had.
She gets to, because of her 6th level ability, she now gets to add her charisma to her any fire or radiant damage attacks. So
Ooh, I like this.
17 damage.
Yes.
17 damage. This item doesn't have health, but here's what I'm going to say. You unleash this firebolt, it slams into the weapon, kind of just begins to singe through, and with the impact and the flame, you see that the entire fuse burns down at once. The weapon itself is massively damaged. The bolts themselves fire off in random directions. It's no longer usable as a crossbow, but at once, with no control, whatever it was going to do immediately goes off. Everyone in front of them is now in effect of this attack. So as they prepare this weapon, here's what's going to happen. This might not even hit you guys. It does not.
Very good.
As the flame goes off, they were preparing to move forward and just blast you guys with a vicious flame, but as it just bursts out, these two do not have enough health to even survive this. As the weapon is now virtually useless, been destroyed by this firebolt, the last bit, the canister itself, explodes forward and launches out the flame, and then he just throws that weapon to the ground and then goes to reach for his longsword once more.
Yes, let's take away all of this guy's weapons.
As this goes off, Matilda's just like, I was right. And just
I've been vindicated
let's see here.
once again.
And she'll
Puts a little notch in her book. It's like a page full of like, I was correct. And then like a page next to it that's like, I was wrong. And it's like 2.
Yeah.
A timestamp. No context. Just I was correct. June 15th. Excellent. And as Matilda circles back around, it is now the Decorated Knight's turn with all of his cool plans dashed to the wind.
Uh-huh.
He looks down towards you guys, raises his sword aloft, and turns and runs away.
Ah!
Running around the corner. And he's going to use his action to dash. Excellent. So, you guys are essentially out of combat right now. I will give you free movement for a moment. As you hear some scrambling up ahead, and the Decorated Knight seems to be doing something, but the sound in this entire chamber is muffled and mildly uncomfortable. As the music slowly begins to die down, it switches over to something a little bit more mystical.
the necklace along the ceiling slowly floats back over to Vincent.
So you
Who?
have
Who are
a
you?
ballista necklace.
Didn't recognize your voice.
Yeah, sorry. And then it lands inside of his hand. And he'll just take a gander on it. Does it seem like... Jhojo, do you have any charges to see if this is magical, or should we save that?
Yeah, I've got 2, I think.
Actually,
Okay.
just save it. He'll just put it
Oh,
in his
okay.
spell.
For the most part, unless specifically designed to not look magical, most magic items look magical in some way. They either have some kind of like runic inscriptions, or they have like a particularly magical feel about them. As this ballista lands in your hand, it literally begins to shift and distort into this kind of like fine, almost elvish ballista. It is a magic item.
Nice.
Killian is giving chase.
Killian, you
Oh,
begin to
okay.
run forward.
I just wanted to be like, yeah, I'm not listening to this.
No, it's fine. He'll put it in his lapel and he'll walk forward as well.
I'm just going to temporarily delete Strumbeak.
As we're going along, could I look for any like illusory walls?
Oh, you pop your magic awareness?
You can just look for them without magic awarenessing, right?
To attempt to see through illusions? Absolutely. Go
Yeah.
ahead and roll investigation check. 21.
That
You
is
see
good.
you see none in your immediate vicinity. As you guys are running through, Killian, you look on to the left and you see what amounts to a small office. This entire area seems to have been hewn from stone, and you can see dwarvish kind of architecture built into these small chambers. And on the left, there's a small piece of parchment and a dagger stuck into it with whatever it was that this individual was writing before coming towards you guys to begin the battle. And to the right, you see a door that seems significantly more reinforced than the other doors that you had seen so far.
Okay.
Yes.
She's gonna run into the room and just kind of like quickly move the rifle around, like seeing if there's anyone in here.
You
Not
see
really
nobody else.
perceiving, but yeah.
In this little corner over here, you see like just fungus and crystal It seems to be torn away. It's likely where that small fungal creature from before was resting, or it almost seems to be implanted into the ground itself before chasing after you guys.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess go over here, take a look at the note.
You look forward, you see a map of the lower half of Aboria itself, with a few key locations that seem to have been just some notes written across it, but you don't recognize the language that the notes are written in.
We should take that.
Yeah. She'll let Jhojo take it.
As
Yeah, I'll
Vincent
take a
steps into this spot, he sees the decorated knight, right?
As you move forward, this door, actually, as you guys were moving forward, this individual would have run into this room and closed that door. But as you look down, you see them close the door around them.
Could he have reacted in that moment?
You also saw several more knights in that room.
Okay. Vincent will mentally connect with you guys. We got some company on the other side of that door.
You want to attempt to react in that moment. You are currently...
It's fine. It could have just gone off.
Okay, if you want.
All right. Killian comes rushing back out of the room. Okay. Are we like? I mean, that guy was a monster, right? He didn't have an ash bond, but he was doing a lot of stuff.
He activated what looked like to be a magic item before we walked down. And then most of his other stuff was just magic items. He might just be a part of the Jhojo. So I wouldn't necessarily think the knights are monsters, but these things are definitely from the dungeon. No point towards the spore creatures.
Can Killian pick up the discarded, busted ass crossbow?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, she might be able to reverse engineer this or something, but she'll just like plunk it in her pack. Strumbeak will like zip out as she does that and just like replace itself at her ponytail.
Throw like a piece of chalk in your inventory with 18 pounds on it. It's quite hefty as you lift it up.
In his head, he's going to think of or call out for Carson.
You just see the shadows around you kind of meld forward as the individual known as Carson arrives, places a hand to his chest and gives a brief bow and says, "Excellently done. Such beautiful destruction."
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the performance.
Those keys landed directly on your fingertips. Are you kidding me? That doesn't just happen.
It happens to me, dear. Anyways, I need a favor. Actually, it's a command. Can you send a couple messages in this direction and see if, a little Mo is around? He's an asset I don't want to lose.
Which direction would you like?
He'll point in this direction and then in this direction.
Go ahead and burn those spell slots. The
You
first and
mean-
the second.
The cantrips?
Oh, you mean sending? Sorry. I thought you meant sending for some reason. And then you don't even have that. But as you, Carson pulls out a small copper wire. He says, "Allow me." He sends a message out in the top, northeastern direction and pauses for a moment. No hit. Faces off to the right. And then you see Carson kind of just... As the message carries through him to you. And you hear Mo be like, "What are you doing? Are you... is that you, Master? Are you here to help me?" Carson's like, "He seems to be there."
He's alive. That's good, at least. Ask him if there's anyone around him.
Points the message towards.
There are a few. There's 2 knights that seem more than the others. There's a weak one, and there's a stupid mushroom thing. Small, my size.
And that was from over here, right, Adrian?
Yes, indeed.
Well, we're heading in the right direction. Let's run back to the party. So do you guys want to look around, or are we good to head somewhere?
We shouldn't. I mean, if we let them prepare for us, it's just going to be a harder fight.
Yeah, I figured we'd just storm in there and show them who's boss. So
Okay. We can loop around when we're done.
It's true.
Real quick, before we, go through the door, I've got a spell for you, Jhojo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Killian's gonna head towards the door then. That's the case.
Jojo's gonna pop a healing potion just while we've been doing all this. Actually, do you guys need some health? Or how are you feeling?
You can see Vincent is pristine, and Matilda, although hit before, looks completely fine.
You should up her false life.
It already is.
Okay, great.
Killian's a bit scuffed up, but nothing major. She just kind of shrugs.
Yeah, Jhojo will pop a healing potion, and then she'll also take this like metal that she takes out of her bag, and it looks like a coin, and it smells of fresh bread, and she crushes it in her hand. Okay, yeah, and that's it for me.
Killian, you move around and you see a small staircase, relatively steep, in a very thin, jagged corridor. But as you kind of look onwards, you see the door at the top of it.
I can give us some cover if you want. Might help distract them. They're unbound, so even if we're at slight disadvantage, they'll be more so.
As you circle around, pretty much all of you actually, see a ladder to the north as well, leading up to a higher plane.
I turn to Vincent and say, "What do you think? Come back for that?"
We'll check it around. I might loop around, so I don't necessarily hear anything from down there right now. So.
If this is 5 feet wide, does that mean that it's only 5 feet tall as well? Or is
Indeed.
it? Okay. Okay. Then maybe I don't have a spell for you, Jhojo. At least not yet.
Okay.
Ooh, I think I know what the spell is. I'm excited. You guys look down the area. You hear some shuffling in the room briefly, but then nothing.
You're just going in?
Vincent gestures at you. He's not usually one to walk in the door first.
I'm attempting to.
I'll move out of the way.
Killian will be right behind Jhojo.
Yeah. As Jhojo goes to open the door, Vincent will key a couple notes and cast fog cloud on that area just in case they're like lining up hold actions. They'll be at disadvantage.
Oh,
Okay, so your
hang on a
fog
second.
cloud is for when Jhojo opens the door.
How many charges do I have on my rig? Like, so the pale currently. I have enough to do invisibility again, so I'm gonna do that.
Ooh, tricky.
Okay, if you're gonna are you gonna cast invisibility on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, then he will not do that.
Okay.
Cast spell. Where is invisibility? There we go. Okay.
Does this door look like the reinforced door with like the wooden slat, or does it like legit have like a keyhole?
This door itself, as you look at it, seems it's not like as rudimentary as the one at the entrance. It's just like a wooden door, relatively solid looking, but not particularly reinforced.
Okay.
Jhojo, you approach.
Yeah. I guess they wouldn't have probably had enough time to set up a trap unless it was like a trap.
You chugged a potion and you guys looked around. They were shuffling around. If they had a trap, maybe it would have been set up, but otherwise it seems like they're silent on the inside.
I'll look behind. Killian is like hiding?
No, Killian's just like out in the open.
There?
Ready. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Up.
Everyone roll initiative. Actually, your initiative is currently set. They will roll initiative.
Oh, we can't re-roll initiative.
No.
So, knowing that Killian was going to be out in the open, could Vincent have still set off his thing to give them cover if you wanted?
Where you are currently, you can only see to this point. But you here, let me pause this. I do want you guys to reroll initiative. Let me go ahead and just reroll this in full.
There we go.
As the doorway opens, everybody who has had their prepared actions just waiting to go with bated breath. The door pops open. Jhojo, you are currently invisible, and they just go to unleash. You see several of them with heavy crossbows, not as intricate as the previous. Just arrows. They attempt to shoot, but you are first in the initiative order.
Great, good. I guess this little sprout in front of me, I'm going to, I guess I'd immediately drop my, no matter what I do, can I slip in without, like, them knowing? I'd have to go through this creature's space, right?
Yeah, with the amount of space you have ready currently, you can't, like, sneak in there.
Okay, well, the invisibility was worth nothing.
You have advantage to hit on your first attack.
Oh, right. Do I want to swing or... Yeah, I'll shocking grasp this little guy. Yeah, oh, Killian's too close to me. There we go.
Alrighty.
I was thinking of doing a different spell, but you'll get hit if I do it, so...
Alright.
Also, for held actions in this case, basically I just made it so that initiative determined the order of operations of who did what and when. Because everyone had held actions at this point.
Yeah.
Is this one wearing metal armor?
This one is currently wearing... Go ahead and check this.
It'd be advantage anyway. So
He has a chain shirt.
That's true.
Did it do it? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Advantage. Oh, 16 to hit. It does hit. Normal. That's 8 lightning damage to this little guy.
You reach forward, you grab onto the creature and just tear through them as your grasp just electrifies their body.
My invisibility goes away. Oh, good.
And when you let your hand go, they just steam rises up off of them as they hit the ground deceased.
Good. I'm gonna get... can I step into this creature's space?
You can, yeah.
I will step right on them. For some reason, I can't control myself. I can't move.
No, Joe, control
it's
yourself.
paused. It's paused.
Oh, right. Let me unpause
That'll
that
do
for you.
Ha-ha! And now I'm in here. And I don't want to rage yet. So that's my turn.
You move forward into the room. Matilda is up.
Okay. She's gonna go forward. It's kind of assessing what's going on and seeing Jhojo basically attack this thing. She will also attack, even though she is going to. She ignores.
Get the wand, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't ignore full cover, just half cover, or 3/4 cover or less. Nat 20.
Woo!
There is nothing this guy can do.
20 force damage against this dude.
Oof. As you bring your hand back, the crackling energy ripping through, slamming into the night. 20 force damage. Oof. Slams into them, and you expect to see nothing but destruction, but as they turn their attention back towards you, just a look of ferocity in their eyes, you see this just faint electricity moving through their gaze. 25 hits, go and roll damage.
Okay. And this one will just be normal. So 7 more force damage. Sorry, I meant this guy. For some reason I targeted you.
Perfect. And as the second bolt comes in and slams into the side of their chest, they are now bloodied, looking on towards you. A look of aggression and faint bit of blood rolling down the nose.
I should have done that beforehand. As her bonus action, she is going to cast the spell blades on herself. For her, the first casting, it doesn't do any damage, right? It just goes on her.
As you summon these blades, they just tear through in the open air and like just buzzing bees around you. These just saw blades of force appear. not an action yet.
It's a bonus action.
Okay.
So I was wondering, on the first time you summon it, it just stays there. You have to use another bonus action to trigger it, or does it trigger on the first one?
I
On your
believe
turn
you.
as an action, you can send a disc.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you
So
use
it's a
your
bonus action to
help
summon
cost,
them
yeah.
and an action to use them as weapons.
Okay. So right
Yeah.
now it's just giving her extra AC.
Not necessarily. You expend the discs to gain AC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
She currently up leveled it for every slot above first, so she has 3 discs around her.
Perfect.
And end her turn. Oh, she'll take a step back.
She'd have 4 discs. It starts with 2.
Oh, then she has 4.
I'll make a disc condition for Matilda so we can keep track of those in the future.
Yeah.
And at the end of Matilda's turn, now the knights let loose with their reactions. This one who is to the... both of which have 2 heavy crossbows. This one that is now in your face, Jhojo, loses 2 bolts with disadvantage, and the
Yep.
other one loses 2 bolts. The first 2 do not hit. Another 3rd bolt flies in and slams against the wall, but the last one manages to hit you in the chest with a critical. That
Ooh.
is, you take... Oh, goodness. It's 27 points of piercing damage.
Divided by... Oh, you didn't rage.
Oh,
I'm rage.
no rage.
As that last bolt manages to find a vicious purchase within your body. This knight is now going to... He actually feels pretty good about that hit and seems to be relatively invigorated. This other knight throws down the heavy crossbow and pulls out a long sword and just prepares himself to attack. And Killian, you're up.
All right. Is Jhojo bloodied?
No.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. Then Killian's gonna keep doing the turn that she was gonna do. She's gonna walk up. She's gonna go into her pocket, and pull out like a small, like handful of like iron dust, that she has in a little pouch on her backpack, and just blow it at Jhojo, while casting a spell. And the iron dust like attaches to you like so many of these spores in this dungeon so far, but then filter into you, and like into your bloodstream, and just start like you just start like slowly growing to twice your size.
The iron dust filters into you and sinks into your bloodstream, and you immediately get blood poisoning, and you fall to the ground as your heart just fails you. I cast death.
Yeah. Power word kill.
Forward
That's why you asked if she was bloodied.
You dust? Do you like dust on the green dust?
Does she
No
become,
dust.
She becomes a large creature, right?
Whatever size she is, she increases to the next one. So medium to large, yes.
Okay.
So I will let you dictate, Killian, what 2 squares you want her to take up. Do you want her to like push the other 2 back, or do you want her to start crushing these crates to the south?
Crushing the crates for sure. Yeah, like
Okay.
she'll center on this.
I'm so big.
You're huge. As the
I
creatures
want to be
here,
big.
the knight just gets jammed back from your immediate explosive growth, and these crates just begin to crumple. You see apples and pears and various different potatoes just begin to litter the ground around you. It's chaos. And the knight gets pushed back against the other one. And they look on towards this madness now, heavily reconsidering life choices.
And I whistle. My backpack wiggles a little bit as Strumbeak pulls itself out and takes a shot at this guy. I need to make a macro for Strumbeak because her thingy doesn't work that well. Ooh, that's a 9. Miss.
9 passes directly through.
Strumbeak will perch on my shoulder, and that's my turn.
Alrighty, bring Strumbeak back in for you. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to do this, get them up a little bit higher. There you go. Now they're with you. And then as that happens, the knight now... there's a giant orc here.
It's rude. She's a half orc.
You can't physically tell the difference most of the time. This one seems a little bit more. And then he just stops his explanation and goes in for an attack.
Also, it's not rude if I'm being not rude. I don't think being an orc is bad.
It's just an observation. Yeah, what's wrong with you out there? I think you got things to work through as he just goes to spear you. His first attack does not hit, comes in with a second. It's not hit. Just like stabbing against your hardened skin. He's making contact and the thing is just bending. And that is his turn. Vincent, you're up.
Vincent will take a step forward. You know, I don't like your tone. You should get down on your knees. I need him to roll a wisdom saving throw as he takes out his conductor's wand and points it at him.
The one at the front?
Are they like both the same? Like what one was the big dude? Or what one talked, I should say.
They're
one
both the
just
same.
now?
The one that talked was the one
This
that's
one
just
talked.
outside of your view.
The Lyrian guard.
Okay, well, he doesn't know that, so he'll point it at this guy.
Alrighty. With a 19, he manages to succeed.
Ah,
He does not grovel before you.
then we'll move here. Ah, wise one. Well, it's funner when they resist.
A wise guy, huh?
Vincent will cast. Yeah, he'll spend a first level slot to cast Hex on him.
What are you hexing?
Let's do strength.
Strength? Ooh. As he feels the strength of his body leave him. You see both of these two have those same kind of like silver veins, as though this just liquid has permeated through their bloodstream.
View some sort of item to empower themselves.
Anything with your bonus action?
That was my bonus action.
Okay.
My
excellent.
turn.
Alrighty. Mo's looking on towards you guys, and he just begins shaking this very thin kind of metal bird cage that he's been placed in, and he's like hopping, trying to just get himself off of this small desk. Let me see what he can do.
Mo, are you in there?
Yeah, I'm here. Come on, somebody help me. Help me, master.
And then he just continues jumping.
I like his
Well-
little voice.
I like people who can help themselves. So why don't you use your brain and turn it into something very small and make your way over to me?
Oh,
Turns into a spider and crawls out of the cage and begins to move across the ground. Let me see. He's not gonna. He can't actually make it through giant Jhojo.
Could have
So
made
he-
himself invisible as well.
He's going to move over here. He's going to get as close to the doorway as possible in spider form.
If you were two sizes, or I think if you're a tiny like creature, can't you like just squeeze? Like it doesn't matter. You
Oh
can
yeah, he's
squeeze
2
through?
sizes smaller, so he absolutely can make it over there. So he makes it to this point at the staircase as a tiny spider moving underneath Jojo's feet as she stomps around and is fighting off 3 assailants. And Mo reaches there. That's the end of his turn. Jhojo, you're up.
I'm assuming these guys are also in metal armor.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Jhojo looks down at the guy who was like, he's like, oh, half orcs and orcs are actually very similar. And seeing his like, his little spear just bend against her, she's like, I think I'll let you live for now. And she turns to this other one and is going to, the lightning shocks down her arm and she reaches out and just like her entire hand just around their body.
Ooh, this is gonna hurt.
Advantage. That's a. Oh, you have a.
He
you have
can
a reaction?
attempt to. He will attempt to parry. I think.
Can you
Okay.
parry a spell?
You can parry. It's a melee touch
An attack.
or spell. Spell melee spell. Touch
Melee
attack.
spell attack, yeah.
You still hit. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that damage. That's
Yeah,
excellent.
that is 6
6 points.
lightning damage.
as the electricity begins to pour across his body, and he's sitting there bloody. That actually kind of sutures some of the wounds. That steam just begins to rise from him, and he looks over towards you with jerky movements. He did not heal. He took a fair chunk of damage there, and he's looking pretty bad off.
Okay. Do I want a bonus action anything? No, I think that's my turn.
Alrighty. Matilda is up.
Okay. She will move up. She has line of sight. And then she will send one of her fizz blades over to that dude. It's a melee spell attack, so she ignores all cover.
You take this blade, you throw it, you issue it forward, and it flies over towards the 5-foot area, and then just attacks everything within that 5 feet area. So basically, it's not you attacking with it, but you're just commanding it to attack. So as it moves over toward the area, it begins to just aggressively just buzz around and attempt to just saw this person. So go ahead and make a melee spell attack.
So I'll roll the damage, I guess, first, but it's not allowing me to.
That's
roll.
probably because I did it as an area. You can just go ahead and roll a d20 plus roll a standard melee spell attack. Go.
20 to hit.
20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. 5.
I guess it'd be 5.
Sorry, I am programmed. As it just begins to.
Her action or her bonus action?
It's her action
It's
to
an
attack.
action to throw, but you can throw as many of them as you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
She'll do 2 of them then. So
Okay,
I'll roll
do
another
2 more
3
attacks.
D4. Or do you have to roll individually for each attack?
Each one is a separate attack.
Ah, yeah. Beauty.
Another 20.
Beautiful. Go ahead and roll damage.
Six.
6 points of damage. Just continues. These 2 saws fly in and just begin to tear at this individual's body. And as both of them look on towards what they thought was like a sure victory, you see the sense of willingness to fight drained out of these individuals. Even the person up top who is going to stab you, Jhojo, and it just bends and then looks on towards you as you mockingly tell them you'll allow them to live. They've lost all sense of desire to fight you guys as you've just pierced into their room. They look down towards the imp who's just gone for no discernible reason. It's just not there anymore. And Matilda burns 2 healing light for 6 healing.
Well, okay, so yeah, it'd be 6, and Jhojo heals 6 heals.
Now, Jhojo, the feathers pour upon you.
The feathers scale.
Ugh.
They get
This
slightly
huge
larger
feather
every
comes out. Aw.
Eventually a rock feather, you're just like, stop it, stop it, stop it.
I imagine that Jhojo doing that freaks out this soldier even more.
Fucking adventurers are the weirdest people on the planet. At the end of Matilda's turn, the 2 knights look towards you guys and look behind them towards the wall at their back. And just this one, they throw down their weapons. And I say, look, this doesn't have to, okay. You don't need to, you say that
No,
and they just...
I just say it and wait.
The one at the front, who is incredibly bloodied, currently shocked, scared, and mildly distracted, and hexed, he feels just immediately drops to the ground. But go ahead and roll intimidation for the one on the table, Vincent.
Ooh.
24.
Oh my
Hit.
god.
Cannon. I mean, he hits his knees on the table, not even stopping to get off, and just both of them stand, hand behind their back. The other knight, who had previously been standing there just terrified, looks over and sees his commanding officers on the ground, and he just throws his spear and shield off to the side and just raises his hands, brings himself down, and the 3 of them are currently at your guys' mercy as they have disarmed themselves and are now just standing. You can still hear the from Matilda's last remaining blades in the background, intimidatingly buzzing out in the open air. And I will ask you this: do you guys want me to stop the battle music?
Yes. I was gonna let them live. Anyone else want to murder them?
Killian like turns to Vincent and just like does this.
What does it do?
Are these things monsters?
Let me check. Vincent will connect into the extremely scared dude that's currently electrified on fire. So, you're going to listen to us and do everything we say. Isn't that correct?
As he responds to you, first off, you hear just a little bit of a yelp as this just mental connection connects into his mind. But you hear superimposed over each other his response of, we'll do what you want, this isn't worth it. And also,
Ooh.
kind of just like faintly in the back of the head.
Do I feel like it's maybe because the spores are infecting him? Or because if I have attached myself to a humanoid creature in the dungeon, was it just tones in their head? Or was it similar to this?
Of the two you've connected into so far, the Myconid had immediately just the thousandfold tone.
Hmm.
None of the, I don't think you've connected into any other humanoids, but this person here.
In the dungeon though?
I thought
In
there
the-
was some
No, I
people
didn't have the
in
thingy at the
inn.
time. I had detect thoughts up at one point, but
Oh.
not like the mind reading.
Right.
Oh, I see. You were using message in the dungeon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
messaged her.
yes.
Gotcha,
And in the
gotcha.
dungeon, anything that you had, yeah. So I think that's all the information you have at current. So you can't make
What,
a
an
deduction
insight
quite
check or investigation? Could it?
yet.
He's
You
just
go ahead and roll
curious to see if these
investigation.
are real people, but maybe infected by the spores, or if they're monsters, basically.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
Can I help?
How
I'll
do
let
you
Killian-
aid this?
I'll tell Killian what's going on.
Okay, because
Um,
you're both. Okay.
By help, my way of helping would be to see like if because we know that the Lyrian Order guys are probably a little bit mushroomed up, maybe, but just to see if the knights, like I would like wander up and like check their skin or like look at like their neck or that sort of
Okay.
thing.
In this case, yeah, go ahead and roll investigation. This will be a group investigation.
Okay.
Oh, I don't roll. Okay, so it's just.
I'll just delete the 12.
21.
Jhojo, how are you helping in this check as well?
Oh, you said group investigation check, so I just figured we were all doing something.
Yeah,
Matilda
I
is
think,
never not investigating, so that's fine.
I think Jhojo would be. I think, these guys are with the Lyrian Order, who have. She didn't look up the Lyrian Order when she did her history check. I guess she would help Killian to sort of like checking them for like spores on them. Actually, you know what? I'll burn a magic awareness to see if they're affected with the chaos or the wild magic that her mom was.
Okay. With your guys' successful group investigation check, checking all of them, all of these people are seeming to wear these masks, and Killian, as you begin to like look in their eyes and check their bodies, they're being complacent to you guys just out of sheer terror. You can actually feel kind of the shivering. But as you investigate them, there is this faint little fleck of that same refractive kind of rainbow color in their eyes.
Mhm.
It almost seems like a residual effect. And the other two have both the silver veins that are kind of like pulsing through their bodies, but they also have that same kind of energy in their eyes.
Okay. Are the silver veins like a school of magic or like a different one?
I'll just go through from
Okay.
one to the next. Vincent, as you are investigating, you kind of just like briefly connect into each of them. You do not sense that thousandfold tone from the weaker guard over here.
That didn't have the silver veins.
Precisely. So this, like, whatever it is that these people had crushed to give them this power seems to be what's giving them that thousandfold tone as well. And Jhojo, as you burst into your magic awareness, all three of them are exhibiting magic, but different. The other two
Okay.
are exhibiting this kind of this conjuration magic that seems
Mhm.
just prevalent across their entire body. It's just oozing off of them. And as far as like when you go in to investigate, you can see it's pretty much sourced by those silver veins.
Okay.
And the other person is exhibiting that chaos magic, as they all are, but ever so faintly, just barely affected by it.
Okay. Yeah, Jhojo will say this out loud.
You know, Humans do strange things, but juicing yourself with the essence of the dungeon seems a little bit idiotic to me.
Where'd you get those things that you crushed?
Roll intimidation.
In the person's head, he's gonna hear, if you don't listen to her, you'll deal with me.
Is that a help?
Yes, roll with advantage.
There you go.
Not a hard check. You
Well.
succeed. As they lean back, they look towards each other, and they just kind of, the one that's incredibly weakened gives a nod, and the stronger one gives a nod. They stand, they say, "Can we sit?"
Yeah.
They move over, they sit down. They look over at the other guard, and he just like perches himself on this table over here. And just like you can see, arms crossed, legs together, like looking down, just hoping no one pays any attention to him.
Jhojo's gonna try and make herself smaller in the
They don't
corner.
last for like a minute, right?
It's definitely not a very long time.
Yeah.
Concentration up to a minute. Yeah.
Uh,
Before the enlarge fades away, Killian does want to pick up and pile up their weapons in the corner
Yeah.
Okay.
and relieve them of any other, like, dagger in the boot sort of thing. Just like stare at them and be like, weapons.
They do. There is no question at this moment.
Are any of these magical?
You receive
Inquire towards them.
none of the weapons, Jhojo, you saw were magical.
Mhm.
And in the room, you did not sense any other sources of magic either. And Killian, you placed them all kind of in the just area of destroyed crates over here. I'll just make a little marker there. You receive 2 longswords, 2 heavy crossbows. They're currently wearing, these 2 are wearing breastplate armor, and this guy's in chain shirt. They each have a shield as well, so there's 3 shields. If you guys want to add this to like your loot, if anybody wanted to put it on them, I can throw that down under the loot sheet. Or if you're just stacking them up to throw them over here away, that's totally fine.
I don't think Vincent has the capabilities of carrying these right now. If anyone else wanted to, though, they can.
Maybe later.
Jojo's like, I need bracers, and you just put their shields on your arm.
One of the 2 crossbows would be the damaged one I already had, right?
Of these, there's
Because this was the guy that ran away and dropped his crossbow, right?
that's true. No, there's more crossbows. This one is a normal heavy crossbow. Both of them had one.
Oh, okay. So both of these heavy crossbows are regular heavy crossbows, not the like fancy schmancy one that I have.
And I'll tell you this, with your passive investigation, that infers that there are more weapons hidden about this room.
Got it. Okay.
As you ask them to relinquish all their weapons, that's what they give you. They don't seem to have daggers on. They don't touch that shit. Only real weapons for these guys. Big honking weapons. No, and as you all kind of position yourselves in the room, they look on towards you and they say, "Listen, we don't want to die for this. I've been a part of this order for a long time, but management's been getting a little weird." He points towards the veins in his body.
Mm-hmm.
It's not us, it's the hand. They've been having us do this. Something going on deeper in the mine, I know it.
Vincent will connect in with Jojo's mind before she starts talking with them. We could play off that we're new management. We still have our symbols.
Okay. Go for it. I feel like they're not gonna buy that considering we killed everyone, but I've seen you convince people of weirder things.
Vincent, knowing they're like boss out front, and he seemed kind of like an asshole, kind of playing into like the whole new management's taking over subject. He will attempt this. We'll see how well it goes. Well, you hated the current management, which is good, because new management is taking over. Vincent will take the Lyran Order symbol out of his shirt and put it back in.
So you guys matched the ones that you had found previously, right? Okay, so those were copper that were given to you in order to signify that you are incredibly low-ranking members that are not of consequence. So here's what I will say.
Could Vincent subtly cast Prestidigitation? Would he know this, though? That's what I want to know.
You would be aware. All of this information was told to you by Mistra.
What is the highest rank in color of these symbols?
From what platinum? This one's made of copper. Platinum is your assumption.
Okay. Could he subtly cast Prestidigitation on it? Because he can make a little trinket. Could he like cover it with that so it looks like it's made out of platinum?
With Prestidigitation? How is this happen? How is
You
do?
can create a non-magic trinket or an illusion image that can fit in your hand and lasts until the end of your next turn.
Oh, well, that's cool. So with the information at hand, you create a platinum sigil, and you
I
show
take it out of my lapel, show it to them, and then put it back in.
Okay. Go ahead and roll deception. You have disadvantage because you have been killing everybody.
Does that
Ooh.
matter?
No, typically
that
not.
matter?
25?
What's the minimum you could have rolled on this?
18.
6. Oh, whoa.
18? 18 could have potentially
Or
failed.
17, sorry. 17
could have potentially failed. As you pull out the sigil and you show it to them, they look towards you and then they just like, where's Zarik? Did we
He's,
pass? Did we pass?
What can I insinuate? What does he mean, did they pass?
As death among the order may not be something that's overly strange. Maybe this is their mind is going to this might have been some kind of test.
Test. That's exactly what Vincent wanted. Sort of, dears. You're still alive. Depends how useful you'll be.
The one guy, like, just the super damaged one is still just terrified, and the other guy hits him in the shoulder and is like, yeah, we're really good at giving up.
It's an important trait.
Thank you, Goblin.
I'm a gnome right now. Out of
Right.
disguise.
I didn't say that.
Thank you, Gnome. That's what he meant.
Let me go ahead and put
Yeah,
that disguise self back on you.
Cool. Mo will fly over and land on my shoulder, or he's still spider. He will skitter up and go on my shoulder.
So they watch this happen and they're just like, there's a spider on you. See, they're still on edge. All right, that's fine if that's your thing.
Vincent will just ignore everything they're saying and connect with Jhojo. Is there something you wanted to do with them and ask them about?
I think we want to go deeper to where they said that something weirder is happening down the mine. I want them to lead us to it.
Since we're taking over, we wanted to see the situation going on. You wouldn't mind leading us in?
Also, oh, never mind. I think this, but I'm like, oh no, he's.
No, I can still be
Oh.
connected for up to 2 minutes. So
Oh great! I
feel
thought you were
fine.
doing a message for some reason. Got so many things to get in my head. Maybe ask them if they got a key for that room back there as well.
We'll also need the keys to the facility.
The keys.
Unless these are
All
them
right.
and his tail will come around and hold them up.
They take a quick look and they say, "Aye, that's half of them." They stand and you can see they're very uncomfortable with the situation. They're not sure what's going on, but they seem relatively convinced that they're just past some kind of test and are now just actively worried that you guys are just fucking with them and you're going to massacre them. You can see this just look of fear on their faces as they're still keeping rank, but
If
also
Vincent
keeping
can
distance.
Insight this. He'll speak out loud to all of them. If you do well in the rest of this evening, I can speak to the others. Maybe you'll get a promotion.
You see the other guard who was previously more scared is looking around at this being like, is this normal? And just kind of stands and is just like, I think I've been due. And then just like waits to just get reprimanded. The other two look towards him like, fucking idiot. And
Honestly, dear.
as you guys prepare, the other one, the northern one, the weaker one, seems to be somewhat of a higher ranking member, approaches this small lectern over in the corner, opens it up and grabs a small pair of keys that he hands over to you, Vincent. It's like two halves of a key ring and you put them together like this little puzzle thing, forms one key ring with various different keys on it.
Nice.
Looks over towards you, just
I
Do, do,
noticed
do.
while I was big, this thing up here, is this above me or is that just like a little secret passageway or something?
this here. It's like just a carved-in little section of stone wall.
Oh, so it's nothing?
Go ahead and roll perception as you kind of like look up and you see this just like little indent. Begin to examine the area.
Bad.
Ooh, natty
That's
one.
nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Tormund.
Hello, Tormund. Always a friend.
So Vincent will wait for them to leave and follow them, basically. And
Okay.
he'll connect
And they do so.
Killian and Jhojo and Matilda, and basically in their heads just be like, so we're going for this for now, but at any point if you wish to break it, just let us know. We can kill them.
Uh-huh. Can you make me small?
Indeed.
Also connecting with Mo and be like, we'll talk later, but you'll look down. Does he seem pretty bloodied? Like they beat the shit out of him but didn't quite kill him?
Yeah, Mo's not looking great.
I'll pass him a good berry.
You hand a good berry to this little spider that just begins to like individual little bites of the berry. It takes a good minute for him to finish eating. You want to go deeper in, right?
Yeah. What's
That's
in
right.
that room back there, though? That one with the door? That seems fortified.
Go ahead and roll. Oh, this one down here?
Yeah.
That's the prisoner keep. We got one down there right now.
Who is it? Or what did they do?
It's, I don't actually know. I think the guy who knew you, I think you probably killed him. We've just been making sure that he doesn't leave.
Let's go say hi. Shall we?
Yeah.
All right.
They just kind of continue moving in front of you, making sure to. I won't like reposition them, but they're always
Okay.
in front of Vincent, basically,
Mhm.
or in front of the group as you guys traverse. You make
I
your way
just-
up to the door, and Vincent kind of props open the keys, unlocking it and opening it for you.
Yep.
Go ahead and select everyone here. Jhojo.
Yep.
Here, everyone stop moving for 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just gotta update the stream screen. That's okay. There we go.
Nice.
As you enter into the room, you see a human kind of just laying down, incredibly exhausted. Just basically unconscious, laying on this cot off to the side. You see that the rest of the cots seem to, at least until recently, have been filled. As the whole room is just messy, just jam-packed with beds to fit as many people as possible. And this one individual kind of laying down. You can, as you enter in, just the smell of stale
Mhm.
people is all over the place. And as you are sitting, looking down at them, they open their eye and look up towards you, and you can see this just yellow crystal
Mm.
off the corner of the eyes, and eyes wide, looking towards you in just
Hey,
this
kill.
faint, like, bewilderment.
Kill, this looks familiar.
I sneak past Vincent. Oops, and then close the door.
And as you guys enter into this room, looking towards this individual who just begins falls back asleep almost immediately, seeing you enter in this strange sense of euphoria staring at you. And as you do so, that is where we will end today's session.
What?
Looking onward in
Matt-
this mine shaft.
Man's never seen a gnome before.
Maybe.
Thank you all for watching, and until next time, bye,
everybody.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Au revoir.